Hello.
What is up, everybody? All right, well, let's see what they've done in the last 2 days, because I didn't stream FGO yesterday. I can totally see that, 23. Thank you for the 34 months. Enjoy your $3 cut. Is that all we get now? I don't even know. I really should look into that, but is that seriously what we get? Oh, Jesus. Thank you, though, Icy. I appreciate it. Is it 50-50? Yeah, I guess so. So it was $2.50, right? Did they change it? Is it $6 now? That's fucked. I really should keep track of these things better. But I'm about to retire, so you know, fuck it. I'm free. But what you been up to, Icy? All right, let's see what's going on in the event here. Later, we're gonna play Relink and we're gonna meme super hard. We're gonna, apparently the cannons get a 1-to-1 attack damage. So I'm gonna spam Tyranny or something and try to make the cannons butcher prototype. We'll do like throw damage on the Dark Dragon and stuff. Gonna be very silly later. We're on a boat, apparently. Wait, was that Romulus? I obviously there's Columbus, but I think I'm seeing things. Everything's Romulus. You see like a vague, like Y symbol, and it's Romulus. I'm having a blast with Relink. It's been great. All right, let's see what we got here. Anyone in chat got Andromeda? Because we still haven't used her against the dragon and stuff like that. Yeah, working hard, huh? Chocolate, though. Do you enjoy your job or is it work? I think that's the best way of putting it. Give NA 2 years and I'll have her. Yeah, it's work. Put it into the trash. Oh, that sucks, man. Hopefully you can, you know, put up with it. Enjoy the other parts of life. I don't think she's popular. That does seem to be the case. I'm sure she has her fans, but I imagine there's not a lot of crossover between my viewers and that, it seems. Oh, hi, Rama. But, yeah, I'm sure she's not super popular no matter what. She just doesn't seem like a character that's gonna be very meaningful in the long term for Fate, but I guess we'll see. Rama, your wife is in another castle, yeah. We'll see what they do for White Day and stuff, you know, maybe they'll do something interesting. I don't dislike her as much as I thought I might, but I certainly don't hype her. She's kind of just existing. If they used her in an interesting way in the story, right? And had like, you know, good writing, then I might like her. But with just a Valentine's Day event, I don't think it's gonna be that great. Although I haven't looked into this event at all. Apparently we're in a river of fucking chocolate. Real serious stuff here. Yeah, we'll see if they add Perseus. It'd be cool. But they seem to be kind of waiting on the prototype stuff. And maybe, chat, may get a hit a copium. Maybe OC2 is going to be prototype related, and so they had Perseus in advance, right, for like White Day, and that rolls right into like Icy just laughing at me. But maybe that rolls into a prototype story. That'd be awesome, dude. Get Proto Gil finally. Chat, you want to watch me turn this into just absolute copium? Watch this. We get a King Arthur animation update and buff. They add Proto Gil. They add Proto Mordred. They give Proto Ku an animation update. Yeah, this is not happening. Yeah, animation updates. Imagine that happening. What shall we use here? AU in 2024. It hasn't happened yet. I don't think it happened in 2023 either. You know, I'm not against using Hercules. But that is a character we've used a decent amount. You know, chat, I really need to work on some of my assassins. Look at this, 115. Like, 111. Now, I tell you, if Cleopatra was NP2, I really would try to get her to 10-10-10. But she just feels so pointless at NP1 that I kind of like waiting. That's why I didn't like do anything with Vertra until she was NP2. But, I mean, Cleo's pretty cool. It's just, not worth a lot at the moment. Does she get event bonus? Yep, figured. What to use? What to use? Who's someone we haven't used a lot of? Honestly, Cuckoo. I don't even know why, but we don't use her that often. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right. Or Junior, if you will. Can I just say how weird it is that she's archetype Ort, which is archetype to a type? Like, how does that even, like, where did, like, really? Where did he come up with this? Right? Because it's not like the whole type concept has been that explored up to this point, right? Right? It's been a pretty vague, behind the scenes, like, hardcore, old-timey lore thing. Right? And they're like, well, what if we give you an almost type to a type? Like, what? Like, how about you actually, you know, I don't know, show type Jupiter, right? How about we get that one? Yo, we've got like a chocolate, what do they call it when you have like a tornado in water? I forget what they call that, but it's that, but chocolate apparently. Yeah, typhoon, I guess. Yeah, that's about right. Something like that. Water sprout. Yeah, that might be it. I know there's like, it's really rare and it's, I think it's a little different than a typhoon, but I think it's something like that. Lost the smart one. He can figure it out. We're in slow-mo, apparently. Look at these monkeys, man. That's Icy right there. See that right there? That part? That's Icy. Wow. Rude. Not a monkey fan, So all this time Icy, and we still don't have a Lancelot buff. It's pretty rough. Also no Sanson buff. Technically, chat, you know how sometimes you have to be like air quotes, you know, X happened, you know, air quotes. I can't be enough of that, right? When I say that Jekyll and Hyde was buffed, right? It's just like, was he though? I mean, like, that was just the absolute worst buff that has ever happened in this game. And that's really saying something, because the Kiyohime buff happened, right? So it takes a pretty serious effort to make it worse than that. They found a way though. Yeah, it's a nerf in that you might click the button and then decide to transform and lose out on your crit buff. So it's not exactly a nerf, it's more like noob bait, right? It can like trick you into making a bad decision. I think that's the way of putting it. So unfortunate. Why? Like, with how unique he is, why don't they just sit down and do something? They can be bothered. Like, I swear they are making fun of him. Because do y'all remember the Ort? The Ort, like, tutorial that they put up? They're just making fun, and they've done that a bunch of times, by the way. They've done shit like that a bunch of times where they're, like, making fun of Jekyll and Hyde. And then on the stream where they were talking about the class score system, they singled out Jekyll and Hyde and are like, oh yeah, by the way, Jekyll and Hyde's gonna have to level 2 class trees. Just, you know, the one servant we're gonna mention here. Like, what the fuck? Can you guys not take 5 minutes to, like, fix this fucking character? Like, you know, animation update is clearly asking for too much, but, you know, if you could do some basic buffs here. And it's not like this is unique to FGO, although I do think FGO is extra bad about. Will you fucking hit the other one, monkey? But, a lot of games, I don't even get it. It's like they're like, it's like doing normal buffs is lava, right? It's like they can't just, oh, you know what? Let's just add a bunch of new effects on this. So let's just change these numbers. It's not like to fix Jekyll and Hyde, you have to create a bunch of new buff effects that have never existed before, right? It's just, you can't just like slap one buff on there and be like, oh, he's got 10% more attack up and he's fixed now, right? You gotta do more than that. But like, just do it. Like, you can add, like, the buffs, you know, get upgraded when you go to Hyde form. You can add, and all at once, you can do that, and you can add an attack buff to his NP, right? You can make them unremovable. Right? You could, you know, maybe put stars in one of the skills, right? Like, there's so many things you can do that take no effort, and you could just put it in. Like, just do it. Like, oh yeah, Jekyll and Hyde sucks. Let's at least give him some stuff where maybe he'll be... It's not like doing all those things I just said. They're not gonna make him, like, top tier, right? If you give Jekyll and Hyde attack up on his NP, and maybe a star bomb, and his skills get upgraded if you use them in Jekyll form, you switch to Hyde form, they become the Hyde version, right? That is not going to make him a top tier 3-star. Like, not at all, right? He's still going to be, like, super, I don't know, under the radar. But at least now, if you're a fan of the character, he's playable, right? Yeah, maybe they'll add a 4-star version of him and then fix that one. They have a tendency of doing it that way. I guess she kind of wants the upgrades here. Rip my stars, though. Well, sorry, Rama, you're about to get absolutely blasted. I mean, maybe he'll live the NP, right? Highly doubt it. They did buff Rama's NP, but he could still use a little extra oomph, I would say. Chat, is Rama maidenless? Technically. Because Sita is still his wife. It's just, you know, Sita check. Are they making fun of Rama in the story right now, by the way? Is that what they're doing? Yes? Really? That's fucked up, man. I really would have thought with the arcade collab, that would have been a good time to have sorted that out. Wait, wasn't there like those command codes? Like, remember you would do the things and different characters from arcade would buff a certain card type? What was it? Was Sita one of those? Because you could like get those and use them on Rama, and then that's like as close as you're gonna get. That's like people did. Yeah, I figure that's like as close as you're gonna get right there. Like, play Guts' theme. That's about all you can do there. Did we just kill Rama, dude? The hell are we doing? Jesus. Ripperoni indeed. And then I guess is that Chaldia Rama or like, I don't even, maybe he just went back to Chaldia. I'm not really sure there. Just instantly called us on like the radio. Hey, Rabbit. Oh, we're already, oh no, we're not time gated, I don't think. We just need the points. Wow, no new quest? Game, please. This one doesn't drop mats for the shop, does it? So I guess I'll do this one. By the way, chat, I'm just gonna say it. Chocolate strawberries are not as good as strawberries. It's not like it's terrible, but I mean, just strawberries are better. Strawberries are good, man. And like, chocolate can be good, but I just feel like, and even if you're gonna do like ice cream, right? I'd rather just have like strawberry ice cream or chocolate ice cream, right? I don't need a mix here. Not really a match made in heaven. I actually agree chocolate's overrated. I don't think it's bad, but I do think it's overused, right? Like, for example, if I was gonna have chocolate and ice cream, I'd rather it be mostly ice cream with like a highlight of chocolate, not just like concentrated chocolate ice cream, right? I don't need that. All right, anyone got a drop CE here? Okay, there's the bronze mat. Okay, there we go. Oh, good, it's a scatty too. That works out. Why is it what's her name? Bob? No, that's not it. Bob, Terry? No, that's not it. Pharaoh, but not as good as Ozzy. Nito, that's the one, right? Nito Chris. Why on earth is she on this CE? I don't think she's going to be in this event. Although I guess a lot of times the servant is kind of random that they slap on these things. Well, I fit a lot of slander in there, didn't I? It could have been worse. I wish we got an animation update for just regular Nito Chris instead of them being all, oh, it's a new version, right? Like, god damn, man. He slandered as easy as he spoke. Well, like, Kama's like kind of involved with the whole love thing, right? So it makes a degree of sense. It's like if Cupid was a character in Fate, but they weren't in the Valentine's Day event. You're not gonna be that shocked if they're on a Valentine's CE. Wait, Berserker Lot has no CE? You know, now that you say that, I can't think of one. I can think of Saber Lancelot. Hold on, let me look into this. That's messed up, man. Dude, he was so fucking cool in Fate Zero, dude. Like, who doesn't feel that way? Imagine watching Fate Zero back in the day, and you got Lancelot doing cool shit on the screen, and you're like, you know, I don't really like that one. Like, who the fuck says that? Like, what a goddamn loser, right? Like, I don't even know anyone that doesn't like Lancelot in Fate Zero. I'm sure somebody doesn't, but fuck him. Bad take. Yeah, wow, he has no CE. He has he has like a Valentine's CE, and he has his Bond CE, and that is it. And he's one of the oldest servants in the Nasuverse, right? Because Fate Zero is one of the earliest works that they did. So the disrespect. Actually, I don't like the fighter jet riding knight. Actually, you have terrible taste. Medea has 1 3-star CE. Medea does have it bad because most of her CEs like aren't really hers, right? And none of them are any good. You know, it's not like, dude, fucking Vertra fans are so lucky. Well, I mean, maybe they're not lucky in the fact that she doesn't have an upgraded NP and so on and so forth. But, like, she's got a decent enough kit, and then they make a Vertra CE that's free, good, and then good for Vertra specifically. Right? Like, that almost never happens. Like, normally, like, the CE for the character's bad, or it's good for another character, or, you know, whatever the fuck, right? There's, like, always a problem. But yeah, they lucked out on that one. Yeah, let's see. Medea has... She's got, like, promo CEs, but that does not count. And then, yeah, she's on a 3-star CE that I think she shares with Atalante. And then she's in like the background of another 3-star one. And that's it. So there really is no like Medea CE. She's more like of a side thing in all the art she shows up in. So yeah. But wouldn't it, why wasn't Formal Craft like Medea? Right, wouldn't that have made sense, right? 25% art up, limit broken 30% art up. That seems like a good CE for Medea, but nope, they give it to Ren. Ridiculous. Wow, I didn't get a lot of NP refund there. Guess I'll do defense down, try to make that better. Should have brought a different, CE, I suppose. It is Berserkers. They lower your NP gain. Meanwhile, Canis, I have to be careful with how I word this. Canis already has like 1 million things. He has 1 million things. And I don't even think that's like fair because you know, I think Canis is cool and everything, but Canis is not that popular. Like, she really isn't. Like, that her banner did not sell that well. You never really see Canis on support lists or, you know, any of that. So it's kind of weird that Canis has 1 million thingamabobs and you know, meanwhile Medea, Lancelot, etc., many others, you know, don't have jack shit. Frickin' Berserkers though, man. Making my life difficult over here. Yeah, I'm assuming someone in Sony, Type Moon, or Liz Angle is a Canis fan. That would explain that. I mean, she already got a summer version, like, so quick. Like, fucking crazy, dude. And again, I'm not like hating the character. It's just that's a lot of like stuff, you know, really quickly for a character. Then meanwhile, you have all these other characters that are pretty damn popular, and they're just like, well, we have nothing. Yeah, I could see Canis soloing the Prison Tower. Got a decent kit for it, and AoE. It is hard for Lancers though. Like, Lancers gotta, I'm sure you noticed when doing it, you gotta work for it because there's saber after saber after saber. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Although with all the power creep, it's honestly, we're at the point now where it's only really impressive if you do it with a Lancer, or maybe a ruler. It'd be pretty nuts to do it with a ruler. Because of Edmund at the end. But yeah, with all the power creep, but it's not too hard for most people, but Lancers definitely have to work for it. Not a lot of scatties out here. I mean, I don't have to do a scatty setup, it's just I can probably make it work with oh, there's one. Anyway, I could probably make it work with Castro Oratoria. All right, chat, favorite version of Oratoria. There's so many now. Which one is it? Let's hear it. Lancer, Lancer, Salter, Lancer, Archer, Lancer, Lancer. I have to say Lancer too, honestly. That's a lot of Lancer though. Some OGs though, you expect that. MHXX, I respect that. Actually, for a joke character, I think MHXX is one of the better ones. Like, she's got that depression from work right? Knows what it's like to be a working woman, right? Knows the stresses of the day-to-day life, right? That's kind of a good gag character, honestly. Yeah, just like us. But yeah, probably Lancer for me too. Lancer Alter in there. The problem with Lancer Alter is she still has nothing. Like, she showed up in the story, said triple dot, and then left. Right? And then they just... And her My Room lines are so bad. You can tell they're like... Dude, you can tell. You can tell with her bio and My Room lines that they didn't know what her character was. Right? It's like the day one APOC characters where they're beating around the bush to accidentally not like step on the toes of the book that they couldn't bother to read, right? You can like tell they're just making sure they don't commit to anything too specific because they don't know what the fuck her character is about, right? They're like, well, you know, she exists. And like, I just don't get it because they made the character up, right? For FGO. So why didn't you know, like make something, right? I swear one of these days they're gonna do something about that, but that day is not today. Honestly, I actually think London is one of the most wasted stories ever. Like, and don't get me wrong, 2.0 has a lot of waste, but like, London is an awesome setting, right? Like, because England has a really rich history. Like them or not, they have a really, really rich history, both like modern and not, right? Like, there's just so much there. London is such an iconic city, right? And then so they're using Mordred, right, which is an interesting character, and then if you're gonna have like all the stories with Mordred and Artoria, they never meet again, right? And London is the only time they ever meet again, right? So that's kind of like Arjuna and Karna meeting again, right? But they did absolutely nothing with it, right? It's just completely wasted. And then like the Frankenstein Babbage stuff could have been pretty interesting, but they also did nothing with it because the whole thing is written like a really bad and really brief like fan fiction, right? It's like so like vague all the time, and then like characters show up and just instantly die. Absolutely no interesting conversations happen for the entire goddamn story, right? And like Tesla's like, hi, bye, right? As same for Kentucky and everything, right? It's so bad, like so fucking bad. And like the premise is awesome though. Like the premise, like London and, you know, Mordred and Artoria meeting again, and then Tesla showing up, right? This could be so damn good. And it's absolutely not that. And not only that, but it's the first main story that really gets the story going, right? Like with Guadia showing up. You know, it really, like, really the story's pretty nothing until London, right? That's when the real story kind of starts kicking in. Am I still in slow-mo? I think I'm still in slow-mo. Not that anyone would notice unless I said something. Yeah, the Mage Association is in London. I mean, you could make a whole, like, whole shtick out of this. Like, really cool story. Yeah, I really do want part 1 to get rewritten. Like, I think there's so much wasted potential there. And it's just filler. Filler. There's way too much filler in part 1. And there's not a lot of meaningful character, you know, conversations and stuff. You know, one reason I like Fate Zero so much is because of the interesting conversations you have between like Gilgamesh and Kodamine, or like Artoria and Alexander and so on. All that stuff is awesome, right? Like Alexander and Waver. Yeah, and that like makes the action better, right? Like having that like backbone to it makes the action better. Where there's not a lot of that in FGO. There is sometimes, right? Sometimes FGO has its moments, you know, where they really develop things and stuff. But yeah, there's just a lot of, how do I put it? Light writing, I guess. Yeah, watch out, Wyverns. Oh yeah, and Tam was instantly yeeted out of London, and she's super popular, so that was a thing. I don't even know why they bothered to put like actually I know why. I know why like Shakespeare, Kentucky and Tam are in London. They're there so they can have Guadia just instantly kill someone to show off how powerful he is without having to kill any characters that they want you to have like an attachment to yet, because it's not dramatic enough. That's the entire reason that they're there, and that's horrible writing. That's like, that is such hack writing. The writer of London confuses me because, like, some of the stuff they write is fine, right? Like, Prototype Fragments isn't bad, right? It's not like the best written thing I've ever seen in my life, but I mean, it's totally fine. And so far, Fate Lost has been pretty decent, right? But then sometimes they write, you know, London and Septum, so... So is this like Andromeda Pass? So do they mention Perseus any in this event? I feel like they have to. Oh, Septum. See, you're supposed to put your best foot forward when getting people into a long-running game, and FGO does not do that. She's searching for him. Okay, are they actually hinting at stuff for White Day, I wonder? Like, I wonder how this is framed. Like, is this hopeless journey, or is this actually going somewhere? Orleans isn't bad. Orleans isn't too bad. Its premise is really good. Okay. The thing about Orleans is, like, it's just a lot of the, like, character stuff is pretty bland. The premise is really, really good. The one conversation between Mash and Mozart is actually pretty good, right? And there's like some ongoing like plot threads with Sanson and stuff that's all right. And like the premise is really, really good, but the actual execution of it still feels very kind of like video gamey, you know, like not the best writing quality kind of thing. But it is definitely better than Septum and things like that. Like it is all right. Like if you just like touch up Orleans, it could actually be really awesome. Like a remix of it, I think it could really be an awesome story. Yeah, just a lot of filler, a lot of like Atalante just showing up for no reason and then dying and not saying a word and, you know, that kind of stuff. Very hollow, shallow, very shallow like character interactions throughout it. You know, some of it's not that way, thankfully. Like I said, it is better. But I actually really like the premise. I think the premise was really good. So if you do touch it up and get rid of the filler and have some more interesting like character interactions and have the villains be a little bit more meaningful and stuff, I think it could be really good. What are we doing? All right, chat, yes or no? Are we gonna see Perseus in White Day? Or OC2, I suppose, as well. So, okay, hold on. Perseus in either, you don't have to say, but like between OC2 and White Day, are we gonna in that time frame, are we gonna see him? NPC, ooh, that's brutal. Oh, that's Pants. Haven't used her in a while. Oh, we got a poll. Will we see Percy? You know what? I'm gonna be optimistic, chat, and I'm gonna say yes. We shall see. I don't think she's in her pants stage right now. That's a lot of no's. Wow, people that do not have hope in this. Any more votes, chat? Yeah, most of chat has not voted. Get those opinions in there. I would actually prefer Perseus shows up though for OC2 instead of White Day. That'd be really cool. Or both. I guess we'll find out. It really comes down to though if Nasu's wanting to actually start fleshing out the prototype stuff. Because it's kind of obvious early on they kind of just put them in there and made the prototype characters pretty vague. And then as the game got more serious and like Nasu got involved and they started caring more, then they just put like an all stop to prototype stuff. So, so more people voted no. Got 20 to 15. But anyway, yeah, more, as they got more serious, they just stopped using prototype stuff for the most part. They've used prototype blue fragments. They've used that stuff. But regular prototype stuff, they haven't touched. So, I just hope they do, right? Like, I hope they actually get to it. And then, okay. Valentine's Day is pretty capitalist, though, I will say. What is happening? America has arrived. Yeah, apparently. I wish we had better representation in this game. It's all like goofy stuff like Paul Bunyan. I mean, we got Tesla. And then someone's gonna say Tesla's not American, and then I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Oh, we do have Geronimo's cool, but he never gets used. Like, Geronimo's awesome, but yeah, he never gets used for fucking anything, so. And actually, technically, Tesla is American. That's how it works over here. You don't have to be born here to be an American. Grailed caster coup. Why not? Billy's awesome. That's probably the best we've got, and he was in Lost Belt 1, and the writer clearly... Dude, this was just so obvious to me in Lost Belt 1. That they were like looking at a lot of characters that had been scuffed. Like in the America Singularity and stuff like that. And we're like giving them their due. Which I'm fine with, but and like they really put effort into like Avicii Braun. They put more effort into understanding Avicii Braun's character than the fucking anime did. So if that was nice. But yeah, Lost Belt 1 did a good job. I mean, they characterized most of the characters properly. They respected their lore abilities, which they almost never do. Yeah, it was nice. You know, it had decent development and all that. I really liked it. It's probably my favorite story. Not my favorite gameplay, though. Like, Lost Belt 5, 2 still is my favorite gameplay, but Lost Belt 1's pretty good. And it has, like, decent pacing and, like, payoff and, like, you know, actual emotional parts that aren't, like, forced. Like, the Antonio thing at the end I thought was done well, all that stuff. But yeah, probably the best Lost Belt story, and it's never gonna get an anime because everyone is so fucking obsessed with Lost Belt 6 now. Yeah, I swear, the first Lost Belt anime we're gonna get is Lost Belt 6. It's so fucking dumb. Like, they should obviously do the prologue and Lost Belt 1 together, and then you can skip ahead if you want to, but like, that's so necessary. I hate it here, yeah. Why are they always casters? Honestly, Lost Belt 6 really does not need 4 seasons. There is so much filler in Lost Belt 6. Like, when you actually look at the major plot points of Lost Belt 6, it's not that big. It really isn't. There's just filler. It's got so much fucking filler in it. Like, you could definitely do it Babylonia style. Like, the part where you fight, like, Shadow Lobo that's representing, like, the chieftain, you know, spirit or whatever. Like, we don't need this part. Like, there's a lot of stuff like that. It's like, we really don't need this part. We'll see what they do, though. They haven't done a lot of anime related stuff since Babylonia, really. But I guess Fate Strange Fake is, you know, what they're working on now. But they might have like a different studio do something FGO related. But yeah, I really want them to do the prologue and Lost Belt 1 together because like they're, you know, they're the foundation of the whole fucking story. And then after that, if they want to skip ahead, they can. But I think they should do like Lost Belt 1, and then if you're gonna skip way ahead, you still have to do Lost Belt 5 because like Lost Belt 5 is super important. I mean, for God's sakes, that's when the alien god shows up. Like, how are you gonna skip to Lost Belt 6 and like the alien god's already there? And it's just so like what? So yeah, I think they really need to do Lost Belt 1 / prologue, and then if you want to super skip, then you go to Lost Belt 5, then you can do 6. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do that. I think they're just gonna do 6, man. They're just gonna fuck it and go to the it's just too popular, so they want that money. Like, people will watch it no matter if it, you know, makes good sense or not. I think Lost Belt 4 getting animated is very unlikely. Like, filler can be good to like characterize characters and stuff, but it's generally better if you're able to like have meaningful conversations between the characters and show off what the character is about while the actual story is happening, right? Opposed to doing it in filler. And you know, a slight amount of filler I think is fine, right? Like sometimes it's good to have a breather between major events in a story and that kind of thing. So it's not like there's no room for it, but I think Lost Belt 6 takes it a little far. As does I think most of Nasu's work. Like, cause he wrote Camelot, that's got some filler in it. He wrote Babylonia, that's got loads of filler in it. You know, Lost Belt 6 has loads of filler in it. Lost Belt 7 has loads of filler in it, right? He's really on about filler. And I've really noticed this over reading his, you know, works over the years. He's really on about having like these big galactic or planetary consequences going on, right? You know, like Sakura shadow stuff and Heaven's Feel or whatever, you know, Tiamat, and this big overarching doom and gloom thing, you know, this like really big high stakes situation going on, and during that having people have like slapstick comedy and slice of life, act like literally nothing bad is going on, tea party. And you know, I hate that writing style, and he's like all about that. He just like loves having this, and that's what like Fate Hollow is. Holy shit, that's how Fate Hollow is, right? Where like the daytime segments act like the nighttime segments don't even exist, and it's just like completely like, you can't tell me that like the daytime segments and Fate Hollow don't feel completely detached from the nighttime segment, right? They're just like skits. They're like comedy skits that have almost nothing to do with the actual story. And Nasu is just so about that. And he does that like in Lost Belt 7. He does that in Lost Belt 6. He does, and I don't like it because it just doesn't ring true at all. You know, it's fine to have downtime and that kind of thing, but a lot of like the downtime that Nasu puts in his stories just feel completely tone deaf to the rest of the story, right? Like I'm so not about it. Yeah, also they like rewrote Lost Belt 6 kind of far in, and it does show in some spots. In some areas, I don't think it's too big of a deal, but there are some areas where you can kind of tell that the story's being kind of modular, right? How you could like link up different segments of it. And it is a little bit awkward. That is definitely a problem. And it's because like it's because the reason for the rewrites I don't think was very good. And look, if you like Lost Belt Morgan as she is in terms of a character, that's fine, but you can't argue that it's a good writing style to like be planning out a story for a really long time with, you know, regular timeline, regular evil Morgan in mind, and you get pretty far into that, and then you see Morgan's design, and you're like, well, if evil, why hot? And you decide to like completely change Morgan and then make it Lost Belt Morgan, and then try to, you know, just like that obviously is gonna fuck up the story, right? And there's some signs of that, although I think less of it's with Morgan and more of it is actually with Oberon. I think a lot of Oberon stuff doesn't really feel right, and it's because Oberon wasn't supposed to be used that way at all. Like that, they changed that quite a bit. Yeah, I really do think the whole Oberon equals Vortigern thing was just super unnecessary. I think both characters would have been served better if they had stuck with the original thing where they were separate, because it just doesn't work for me at all, and like it just feels really forced. And I even said that before the information came out, you know, about them rewriting it and change, because they just straight up said that they originally were just going to use regular ass Vortigern, and regular Oberyn as separate characters, and they changed it because they wanted Oberyn to be more important, essentially. But like, I called that shit. No, not that specifically, but like I called like how useless it was for Oberyn to be a part of the whole Vortigern thing. Like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. There are some things that, even though I'm really anti Lost Belt 6, let's be honest here, but there are things I do like about it. I mean, the music's good. The way they killed Morgan, I actually thought was done decently well, because it's like a big plot twist, like especially how early it happens. But it doesn't feel like fake. It doesn't feel like it couldn't happen, right? Like the groundwork is put there for it to be logical that happened, right? So that was good. You know, that was like a plot twist. Like I truly wasn't expecting that, really. I mean, I knew there was people plotting against her, but I figured they would just have Morgan, you know, I'd win, right? But they didn't. So that was kind of that was cool. I mean, I was actually surprised, right? Like FGO doesn't surprise me too often with her plot twists, but yeah, that actually surprised me. Fluffy was pretty cool too. That whole bit was cool. Like it has its moments, right? There are some things in Lost Belt 6, but it just, you know, Nazu's writing style is just not to my liking a lot of the time. You know, it's just like Tristan is just there to die, right? He's in that story to just show off the new characters, right? And like it's just fucking lame. And like they literally made up the whole, you know, servants are weaker here thing just for Tristan, because it has almost no other effect on anything else. And like, you can't tell me this isn't contrived, right? They made it so servants are weaker in Lost Belt 6 because servants aren't needed, but it doesn't affect Da Vinci and MASH because they're demi-servants. How does that even make sense? Like, why would a demi-servant not be affected by that? Like, it's so bullshit. The reason they did that is because they just wanted to snipe Tristan, essentially, right? They don't want the actual main cast that they want to use, because they want to use Da Vinci. They want to use MASH, right? In a long, meaningful way. So we can't have them be nerfed. No. But, you know, any other regular servants, fuck them. But yeah, they just wanted to kill Tristan to hype up Burgess. Man, like, Tristan is so outrageously strong lore-wise, I don't think it'd be very believable. So they're like, oh, okay, well, regular servants are nerfed here, guys. But not MASH. No, not MASH though, because she's a demi-servant, so she's immune to it. Like, yeah, that makes fucking sense. And Da Vinci is like a servant, but she's like a servant in a homunculus body. So she's like they consider her like a demi-servant. It's all very whack. Just, you know, she got stabbed in the fucking chest, you know, by Kodamine and all that stuff. Yep, the anime hand stab. Why did Da Vinci design her backup body be the Mona Lisa but younger again? Because anime. I mean, it's like, you know why. I think everybody knows why. Also, it lets them sell another character. You know, they can't just have Da Vinci again. You know, it has to be different. They're not gonna rate up Da Vinci, but with a blue hat this time, or a green hat this time, right? They gotta mix it up more. It's like if they ever added Saber Kojiro, he's not gonna be the Saber Kojiro we saw in Shimosa. Like, he's not gonna be a bronze 2-star Saber in the FP summon. That's like regular Kojiro, but a Saber. They're not gonna do it. They should, but they're not gonna, right? They're gonna come up with some bullshit and like, oh, it's totally different now. And he probably won't even be a bronze, right? They'd probably make him a gold or something. Oh yeah, we already have Summer Morgan. Forgot about that. Female Kojiro. Jeez, I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would do that. Here's the reason. Okay, so I think Kojiro being bronze is so perfect because like his whole thing is he's not like the other servant. He's not a heroic spirit, right? He is able to keep up through skill alone. You know, not magic, not, you know, not being a heroic spirit, none of this Throne of Heroes crap, right? That really makes him special, right? And bronze is just so perfect for him. And as a bonus, it makes him free-to-play friendly. So, you know, I like that. And he's kind of just so famous now for being like this awesome low star, right? So I don't really want them to add like Kojiro from a different universe, right? Different world line, but now he's an old man and he's a 5-star saber. I don't really want that, right? It's not the end of the world. It's not like that you can't justify that, you know, any more than they justify like Lancer or Toria or what have you, but I would much prefer, because here's the thing. As Assassin Kojiro, okay? Fate Stay Night, you know, never mind all this other stuff right now. Fate Stay Night, you know, heavily implied, and I think they even say in his character material book, you know, because of the circumstances with Medea and what classes were summoned and stuff, that's the main reason Kojiro's an assassin, right? And he qualifies as assassin because of his, like, martial arts training that allows him to be very stealthy, right? If he wants to be. And, like, conceal his presence. But that's not his proper class, right? His proper class is Saber, because he's, you know, I don't think I need to explain why. Have you watched the man fight, right? Obviously, his proper class is Saber. But, so, basically, the Kojiro you have in Fate Stay Night really should be a Saber, but has been kind of shoehorned into the Assassin class, because that's what's needed, right? And so, I want to see that Kojiro as his proper class, right? I don't want to see alternate universe Kojiro that's contrived so we can make a very different design to sell you a very different, because, you know, people are more willing to roll on something if it's really different opposed to something they already have, right? That's why you don't get Lancer Vlad from APOC, because they used the design for the made-up Berserker Vlad in FGO. So they're not going to do it, right? They need something more different than that. And I don't like that because that's so corporate. There's no artistic merit there. And the thing is, you can have your art sometimes, your artistic integrity, and still make money, right? Because having a good game, right, attracts more players, right? Having a good UI, having, you know, good features, you know, adding animation updates, these will, in the short term, not make you any money, but in the long term will make you money because it makes people keep playing the game and stay invested in the game, right? So I don't think it's a problem to add, like, Lancer Vlad from APOC, even if they make him very similar to Berserker Vlad, right? It's not a big deal, right? If you want to add, you know, adding bronzes to the game every once in a while is good. And I think they've known that because they do add bronzes for free to the game every once in a while, like Chen Gong and Black Bart, etc., right? So if we're allowed to have Black Bart and, not Kojiro, Black Bart and like Chen Gong and Jason and stuff as free bronzes and stuff, why can't we have Saber Kojiro? Like, why can't we have that, right? And if they want to then add a 5-star Kojiro, you can do that. But, like, why is it just, like, so banned that we can't have, you know, fucking normal Saber Kojiro? Like, why? I don't get the logic here. But unfortunately, it's just kind of how the game's been run for so long that I don't have any expectations of them doing it. You know, if they were going to add Saber Kojiro, they were going to make up some brand new bullshit out of their ass we've never heard of to, you know, justify making his design and rarity and all that really, really different. And that just sucks because you could do both. Yeah, we did actually get a few new 3-stars recently, so that's been nice. Like, it's important to add free stuff, though, from time to time, and, you know, keep that stuff updated. The Saber Kojiro is going to be Grand Saber. I mean, we already know Artoria can be a Grand Saber, and obviously more than one person can be, you know, the Grand of a class, so... But I don't think they'd ever make Kojiro one because, you know, he's not even a proper heroic spirit in the normal, like, Fate timeline. So I think they even said they were planning on adding Antoinette Alter. I think it was like 5.5 or 6.5 or whatever. And then because they changed shit, they cut her. And then now they were like, maybe we're not even gonna add her now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why can you just make up like a random weeb event with random waifu of the month you've never heard of and never hear of again? But then you can't do an event like that. Like, hey, it's a French event with Antoinette Alter in it. Like, why can't you do that? And the answer is you can do that. They just don't want to because I guess the weeb stuff sells well enough. But it's not like they've tried. You know, they've done, like, if you look at the data, a lot of these like waifu of the months don't sell that well. And it's not like they've got other events to like compare it to. It's not like they ever tried doing, you know, like a Nottingham event and they added a bunch of Robin Hood related stuff. You know, they never tried that kind of thing. So it is weird that when they do filler events, it just always has to be Japanese stuff or Chinese. But I guess they just figure if it has to be kind of fillery, they might as well go with like the demographic that seems to be the most popular. They do Husbando of the Month occasionally, right? Really occasionally. But normally the guys get added because of like the main story or it's such a popular figure in history or something like that. You can kind of tell when they're doing these filler stuff. Like when they added that wolf lady, I forget her name, but that Japanese event with the doggo lady. Whenever they do events like that, you know, that it's filler. Let's not kid ourselves. It's filler. You know, they're reaching the bottom of the barrel and that kind of thing and just kind of pulling shit out of their ass. Those are always waifus. Always. And it's because they, I think it'll sell better. And they're probably right. And guys sell really, really well, but they sell really well for really different reasons, right? Like, you know, people really like the story with Emiya, right? So Emiya's popular. If they had just thrown Emiya into this game and he wasn't in Fate Stay Night and Unlimited Blade Works and all that, he wouldn't be popular, right? The way for like guys to sell, it's kind of like, let's be honest, shallowly, is if they're like really badass, like King Hassan, but they don't actually pull those designs off super often. So like they normally try to sell the guys through like story stuff and you know, those kinds of things. So they don't really fit for like that kind of filler stuff they try to do. I think they could do it though if it is like King Hassan. Obviously King Hassan's not a filler character, but if King Hassan was a filler character, he probably would have sold decently well anyway. Although I don't know, what do you think, chat? Because obviously people thought it was like so cool when he like you know, yeeted Tiamat and all that kind of stuff. I think that definitely is a big part of why he's popular. So I don't know how popular he would be if he just showed up in some, you know, filler, you know, monthly event that you never hear from again. I don't know how. I think he would sell somewhat, but I do think he would do better. I rolled Hassan before I saw him in the story. I mean, that's going to be true for some people no matter what, because some people will roll, you know, Emiya without knowing anything about him, and you know, so on and so forth. Of course, some people are going to do that, but what I'm saying is I'm sure King Hassan sold more because of him like fighting Gwen and fighting Tiamat and those kinds of things. I can't see how that could have hurt him. I think that only is going to help him. And they generally try to, the guy characters, they try to do that with a lot, right? I mean, like, you know, Oberembing in the story is why he got so popular. Stuff like that. You know, there's a few exceptions. There's absolutely a few exceptions. I tell you, one of the biggest exceptions is Arthur. It is kind of funny because he's like, you know, the classical hero, and he is really popular. I mean, like, anytime they've, you know, polled, like, the ladies and stuff, he's always super popular. And he hasn't been in, like, a major story in FGO, and most people haven't read Fate Prototype Blue Fragments. Let's not kid ourselves. No one can read. And, you know, they haven't done Fate Prototype yet, right? And if they ever did Fate Prototype and it was a killer anime, right, and you got those awesome scenes with Arthur kicking ass and stuff, he'd get more popular. He would get way more popular. But he is really popular without that, because he is kind of the Prince Charming, or King Charming, I guess. And sometimes that stuff isn't popular, but he like is, right? He's doing it right. He is that kind of stereotypical hero that people really do like, because he is popular, right? With so little screen time, he is pretty damn popular. So like, just imagine if he had screen time. But yeah, he is probably the most like husbando of the month, if you will. Now, obviously there is more lore with him, and you know, it's King Arthur for fuck's sakes, but it's not very known, right? He did kind of sell, I think, off of curb appeal. I really do. I think he did. I think a lot of his stuff sold because of curb appeal, where I think the guy characters don't do that as well. And I think Ivan actually sold kind of off curb appeal too, somewhat. because he's a demographic that's never been catered to, like, in this game ever. So everyone that likes their monsters, right? Everyone that likes their monsters rolled on Ivan, essentially, right? It was so concentrated. So I do think he could definitely sell it with curb appeal. But yeah, most of the guys I think do struggle selling with curb appeal, right? And again, I know there's exceptions. But exceptions prove the rule. Where with waifus, and again, a lot of the like waifus of the month, it's not like these sell amazing, but they clearly sell well enough that like they're happy to use them in like these downtime months, right? Because they've done a lot of them. Holy shit, they've done a lot of them. Yeah, they do add a lot more mecha than they add monsters. And I actually think that's a mistake. Although from what I've seen this in a lot of different demographics, in like Smash Brothers and Gacha games and fighting games. North American countries, and even some Europe too, likes monsters a lot, playable monsters a lot more than Japan does, right? And that's actually pretty known in Japan, right? Like the Japanese player base of Smash, for example, did not give a shit about Ridley being added, right? That was one of the top requests forever in the English-speaking parts of Smash. And Ridley's really popular, right? When they finally added Ridley to Smash, he is really popular. You see him all of the time, right? But mainly in English-speaking countries. Japan doesn't give a shit, right? They're really not that interested in characters like that. So yeah, that's why you don't get a lot of characters like Ivan. But at least I'll give FGO this, right? I don't want to give them too much shit here. They at least do it every once in a while. They do, right? They make characters like Darius, right? That's a pretty out-of-the-box kind of character, right? They make characters like Ivan, right? They do, and I'm glad. Thank God they do. I like FGO so much more because of that. But yeah, they're not going to make characters like Ivan very often. I will say though, with these like flavor of the month characters, where they're kind of shallow. Let's just cut to the chase here. They're more shallow. I think they should mix that stuff up more, because I can't be the only one that feels this way. It's not just that the waifus get like the shallow waifus. It's that it's always shallow waifus. If you're gonna add some shallow characters, at least have some fun with it. Like, give me some character archetypes we don't have yet, right? Give me some cool animation styles and stuff we don't have yet, right? Instead of it just kind of being the same thing over and over, right? Give me some, have some fun with it, right? I think some variety would do it a lot of good. We probably will get Baba Yaga, thankfully. That's actually some of why we get some of the more unique designs. Now, Darius and Ivan are FGO specific, so that was unique designs that we got through FGO. But, the books don't care so much about like gacha sales and stuff, right? That's their demographic. How you try to sell a book is really different. And so a lot of times we get really awesome characters because of like a book or an anime, and those characters probably would not have been created that way if they were created for FGO specifically. That's a big one. That really is a big one. And a lot of my favorite characters in Fate are not FGO specific. Actually, almost all of them aren't FGO specific. A lot of the FGO specific designs I don't actually like as much. So, but yeah, thankfully Baba Yaga will almost assuredly get added as long as FGO, doesn't die. Okay, I've got the points, I just don't have the, so wow, they're not giving us new, free quests much. We have to wait a while. Yeah, I want more composers. Holy fuck, I want more composers. I would love Bach and Beethoven and all that, man. Dude, there's so much you can do with that, and there's so much you can do with Mozart that they haven't done, but at least like he's got some cool character moments and stuff. Like the world of composers is so rich in what you could do with it in Fate, especially now that they have like musical magecraft and stuff. So like, holy fuck, how have they not done that? It's just like a gold mine that they're just not touching, and I don't really get it. But yeah, hopefully they do at some point. Do you ever think how weird it is how underutilized defense up is? You mean like gameplay and trying to make teams to get close to 100% defense up requires going out of your way to accomplish it for reward for bootleg and vulnerability evade? Well, I've thought about this before actually, and it's because when you actually hit that critical amount of defense, it's pretty broken because a lot of defense buffs last so long. And a lot of them aren't hit-based, right? So you know, invulnerability and evade are super strong, but most of them aren't like Ku, right? You only get the one turn, and then you're completely dead in the water, and you have to wait a bunch. Like, defense up is actually kind of broken, and this is why I don't think they use it a lot. Because, okay, let's look at it. Matches defense up. Last 3 turns, it's a 5-turn cooldown. So that's only 2 turns of nothing. And then you look at most units, they have a 1-turn evade on a 6-turn cooldown. That's 5 turns of nothing. That value shift is massive, right? So if you're able to easily get 100% defense up with units like MASH, it's pretty broken, right? So they've been really gun shy about that. So I kind of get it. And here's what I think: if they added more defense up as plentiful as evade and invulnerability, they would just start giving bosses armor ignore all the time, which wouldn't be any fun. And they would. I hate when they do that kind of thing, right? And we're kind of in that boat with Castoria. Surely you all have seen this. Any of my Challenge Quest players have seen this. Ever since Castoria and crew got so popular, so many of the Challenge Quest gimmicks are aimed directly at them with a gun, right? Like buff removal or buff block or NP drain at the start of the turn. And there's just so many things to directly fuck up Castoria. And then it just makes the game so fucking annoying for all the characters that aren't Castoria, right? Like you don't, it's like you're over here using Hans and you're getting hit with that stuff, right? It's horrible. Like, yeah, it's a problem, honestly. It's just power creep. It's just bad adjustment to power creep. Funnily enough, Asterios is actually kind of better than ever because of the way he works. Like the Veach fight, right? The big Veach fight. He was so good there because all the dumb shit they were doing to try to fuck with you doesn't work on him because he's debuff based. And we don't have any meta supports that are like that debuff based, so they've been mostly untouched, right? So yeah, Asterios can still get away with murder. But yeah, I'm sure they'll add a debuff based support that becomes super meta, and then they'll fuck with that too. Really, FGO's meta is just in a very unhealthy spot. I think that's a pretty safe thing to say. Like, just way too much power creep. The ways to counteract the power creep to try to make the game still interesting for the people using the power creep just makes a really broken game. And there's almost no fixing it at this point. So, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I think Morgan being a debuff-based support would have been awesome. That's what I'd always said. I wanted her to be like the equivalent of Merlin, but very debuff-based. And you can do it. You can definitely do it. You can make a very meta support that's debuff-based. I think if we had gotten regular Morgan, they might have done it. I really do suspect that regular Morgan would have had a very different toolkit than Lost Belt Morgan. Chat, have they ever addressed the Tristan interlude? Ever? Because they obviously wrote the Tristan interlude when they were still planning on Lost Belt 6 having regular Morgan in it. And it just, dude, it just so, again, we're not guessing. We know this. We know they were planning on using regular Morgan and then they changed their mind, right? And they obviously wrote Tristan's interlude with regular Morgan in mind, obviously, right? So yeah, I think I do think they just forgot, and it's just this dumbass plot point out there that's just sitting there. It's like, what the hell, man? And I don't, chat, I just hope maybe they pull an Arthur where you have Artoria and Arthur. Like, why can't we have that? Like, or would Morgan fans actually be mad? Because the thing is, some Artoria fans actually are mad about Arthur. Now, you shouldn't listen to them because they're fucking crazy, right? Like that's that kind of like nonsense, you know, like Arthur fans that want Artoria to not exist, or Artoria fans that want Arthur to not exist. That's like Xbox versus PlayStation crap again, right? But yeah, I think like most Morgan fans wouldn't care. But I do think there's a vocal minority that's bigger than most vocal minorities that probably would care. And I think the problem is that is part of the issue, because you've seen them dodge that kind of stuff, like removing Arthur's voice line and all that kind of stuff. You know, they try to avoid pissing off the crazy. But also, I think they're going to jump at the opportunity to just add another Lost Belt Morgan. Right? Oh, Lost Belt Morgan, but now she's a Saber. Lost Belt I mean, you know that's gonna happen, dude. Like, you know they're like, oh my god, this is a new cash cow. Because if they make Saber Lost Belt Morgan, of course that's gonna sell. People are gonna, dude, if they did like a really good design and everything, people are gonna lose their minds over that, right? So like, why are they gonna do like regular Morgan, right? Like as a caster or something, when they can just, you know, do Lost Belt Morgan again, right? Same for Vortigern, right? Why are they gonna put in regular Vortigern as like a Berserker or an Avenger or something, and when they could just do more Oberyn stuff, right? And the thing is, I don't think they're going to, right? Like Nasu already, like, you know, threw Morgan under the bus once, so I don't think he really cares about regular Morgan much. So, but it's such a shame, because it's a lot more interesting, like, if you have Artoria fight Morgan again in a story or something, and it's regular Morgan, right? Like, that's way more interesting, because it's not like there's almost nothing to go on between Morgan and regular Artoria, because they don't even know each other, and they don't, like, there's just nothing, right? It's, if you just like look at Morgan's voice line about Mordred, it's just nothing, because she doesn't know Mordred, because it's Lost Belt Morgan, right? So it's like, you could do a lot more with the regular version of the character, but yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything. So the thing is, evil waifus are normally a lot more popular than, like, you know, evil dudes, right? So I don't think it'd be a particular problem. That's where the whole, like, if evil, why hot thing comes from. So, I mean, Nev is popular, for crying out loud. Yeah, I've always said that Morgan would have been popular no matter what her character was, right? Like, just playing that role in the story, having those character interactions and that backstory and all that, she could have been named Jill and been a complete OC like Kiara, and she would have been just as popular. And that's why I always say you can still do Lost Belt Morgan stuff. You can make Lost Belt Morgan, you know, at Saber, etc., and still have regular Morgan. But I think some of it's also like branding, you know, marketing, right? Because you already, let's say they added regular Morgan as a caster, okay? And it's, you know, normal evil bitch Morgan, and then, right, and then they add, like, later down the road, they add Saber Morgan. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, wait, is it Lost Belt Morgan or regular Morgan, right? And that's gonna affect sales. You bet your ass it's gonna affect sales. And then when it's figured out which one it is, people are gonna be like, oh, it's this one, it's this one, it's this one. And they don't want that. That's bad. That's bad from a business standpoint. You want that clarity, right? You want to put out Saber Morgan and just have every Morgan fan roll on her immediately without even thinking about it, because of course it's Lost Belt Morgan. It's the same Morgan we've had this whole time. This really is a thing, that kind of like branding. And if you look at even like Lancer Artoria, who is a completely different character to regular Artoria, right? Different world line, etc., they made sure the characters were at least similar enough it wouldn't matter. This is really important, right? Even though, like, Lancer Artoria is a different character to regular Artoria, it's not, and they are fairly different, but like, on a surface level, no one really cares, right? Fucking Lost Belt Morgan and regular Morgan are outrageously different from each other, right? Like, even the tiny bit of regular Morgan we saw, right? She's awful, right? She's a terrible, evil, you know, she's Morgan, for God's sakes, right? So she's like very, very classically evil, right? Super bitch. And so, like, that's just such a different demographic, right? That's gonna want that character opposed to, you know, Lost Belt Morgan. And yeah, I don't think they want that conflict. I don't think they want that conflict at all. So I don't think they're gonna do it. I really don't. Even though she's pretty popular, and, like, you know, regular evil Morgan was always pretty, like, hyped up. A lot of people wanted it added. I think they're just never gonna touch it now. I think and if they do touch it, they're gonna touch it in a way that isn't going to be used in FGO, right? Like, maybe she shows up in a story or something, but she's not going to be, you know, a playable unit. And even if they did FGO 2, theoretically, you know, obviously it's going to be called, like, Fate Laundry Basket, but, you know, let's say 10 years from now they make another Fate game, if they use Morgan, they're using Lost Belt Morgan. Like, she's just too popular. Unless it's, like, way in the future and they kind of, like, reboot a lot of stuff, and then maybe not, but yeah, she's just way too popular for them to pass on that kind of thing. I think Vortigern slightly has a better chance of getting in, because I don't think they'd really have that kind of marketing problem. Because let's say you add, you know, regular Vortigern, and he's kind of like extra Vlad, you know, with the you know, evil armor, older guy, you know, turn into a dragon, you know, black armor, you know, Giga Chad. You know, that's not, no one's gonna confuse this, right? Obviously, it's Vortigern, right? No one's gonna be like, what is this, Oberyn Vortigern, right? Like, that's not gonna be a thing. Where Morgan would absolutely have that problem. So if they wanted to, they could have their cake and eat it too with Vortigern and make, you know, multiple versions of Oberyn and make regular Vortigern, and there would be no problem. And then hell, they could add Oberyn. Well, no, that one they probably can't do. Yeah, rip Oberyn fans. I don't think they can add like proper. And they already confirmed he is a servant, he's a ruler, etc., etc. But yeah, regular ass like real Oberyn, you are not getting. I think there's slim chances of getting Vortigern proper, but I don't think there's really any chance of getting Oberyn proper. Like, again, he's a canonical character, but I don't think there's any fucking chance of that happening. Like, no way. I don't know, maybe if they thought that like regular Oberyn would sell really, really well, even without the like stupid Vortigern shit mixed in, like maybe, but I don't think so. Yeah, I in some ways, I actually think proper Oberyn fans got more blasted than Vortigern fans did. Yeah, it's tough. It's not great. Does anyone conflate Moriarty and Moriarty Lily? The thing is, though, like the age thing makes that really clear, right? So obviously, if they put out also Moriarty's not that popular. That's really important. Because like if they did put out another regular Moriarty, like the old one, you'd know immediately just because they're gonna use the older version again. But yeah, they don't really care because he's not that popular. Like there's a world of a difference between like Romulus and Moriarty and fucking Morgan, right? And Oberyn, right? It's not like it's a waifu thing, you know, like but yeah, branding is a real thing. Like companies absolutely care about this kind of stuff, and especially it's not like Musashi, right? Musashi is really popular, but like Morgan is so popular. Like, I mean, we're talking like buying yachts popular, right? Like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. So yeah, I don't see them wanting to fuck with that at all, because they know they can pump out Saber Morgan or Lancer Morgan or whatever, and it's going to be huge. Like they're going to make millions and millions and millions and millions off of that. Yeah, Morgan is absolutely in the top. I don't know about top 3. It's so hard to say top 3 because you have a lot of fans that don't even play FGO and stuff. There's a lot of popular waifus in Fate now, so it's hard to say. She's among the top ones, right? She's among the absolute tops. So, but it's hard to say what the exact order is. You know, obviously you've got Artoria, Morgan, Jalter. What else? Who else is really big? Musashi's pretty big. Maybe not as big though, because she is more FGO specific. You know, she doesn't have like, cause dude, there's a lot of Fate Stay Night fans. Oh yeah, Rin, that's fair. But like, there's a lot of Fate Stay Night fans that don't play FGO, and they're giant Artoria fans and stuff, right? There's a lot of people like that. But yeah, Morgan is on, you know, Lost Belt Morgan anyway, is unquestionably up there. Fred here. Recency bias is a big thing, but that'll change with time, right? And that's actually why Artoria is so shockingly popular, because she'll top charts in like magazines and stuff for like popular anime characters and things like that when there's nothing related to Artoria. Right? Lelouch is like that from Code Geass, and like Guts and crap like that. Like there's just certain characters out there that have just they become almost like Superman status in at least the anime community. Right? Obviously Superman's unbelievably popular because everyone knows him, even if they don't know comic books and comic movies and stuff. But in the anime community, you have characters like Artoria, Lelouch, and I don't know, Amuro Ray or something. You know, there's some characters, L and Light, right? Like they're like super all-stars, right? And Artoria is like that. Morgan's not. Like Morgan is not that popular. She is a lot more specific to FGO and all that. Now she's stupid popular, like she's stupid popular, but Artoria really is that like holy fuck level of popular in the anime community. Yeah, that's true. Some of it is going to be age demographic and that kind of thing. But you can see it with Code Geass. when youngins do go back and watch like anime from before their time, there are certain ones that stand out as like still being like, oh hey, that was good, and Code Geass is one of those. Now that doesn't make it as popular as like the new Zoomer stuff, obviously not, you know, obviously not, but it does show that it's extra popular, right? Like, because even Dragon Ball Z and shit like that, like with Goku and whatnot, even though like the Zoomers don't like him as much as the older demographic, a lot of them still do like Dragon Ball stuff, right? That's kind of a testament to how popular it is, because it still brings in new fans. Not as much as, you know, the new hip stuff does, but, you know, all the other stuff is just forgotten, right? Like Slayers, the anime Slayers. That's not bringing in any new fans whatsoever, right? Where Dragon Ball is, you know, Code Geass is, Fate is, right? So those things are extra. Berserk is, right? Like those things are extra popular. Like, my god, Goku is still quite known, I would say. It's always funny to see the old Morgan art, comparing her to FGO Morgan. Well, they never really settled on art for her. You know, they kind of just had like, you know, throwing shit at the wall that they weren't really sticking to anything. Kind of like how Bettervere's original design didn't get used. I think the first outing of what they were planning on doing with Morgan was APOC, the APOC anime. Because I suspect, because you got to understand, you have pre-production, right? Obviously, APOC aired not like that far in advance to Lost Belt 6, but you don't plan this shit right before it airs. So that design for Morgan and APOC was quite old. And I suspect that was when they were still in the mindset of using regular Morgan in Lost Belt 6, because that was the plan for a long time. So I think Type Moon contacted them and gave them that design to use in APOC. I think absolutely. There's no way that they like hacked it, you know, from Type Moon or anything. So I do think that was Morgan's design, like regular evil Morgan. Now, I don't know what they're going to do now, though. Now, if they ever gave regular Morgan a design, I don't... Honestly, I think what they're going to do, this sucks, but I think what they're going to do is they're going to have regular Morgan pretty much look the same as Lost Belt Morgan, maybe like a really minor difference, like in color or something like that. And she's just never going to be playable. She's just never going to be playable. Just like Lancer Vlad from APOC showed up in the APOC collab, but he's not playable, and they just used the Berserker Vlad sprite. That's, I think, the fate of Morgan. Which, what a horrible fate, by the way. But yeah, if for some reason they used regular Morgan, they probably would just, you know, make her caster or whatever they want. Ruler, I think that they said she could be. And they would just use the Berserker Morgan sprite, and then she's NPC only. I think that's her fate now. I think GG, right? That's terrible, and I know she deserves better than that. I think all the like famous Artorian Legend stuff deserves better than that. But yeah, I think that's her fate. It's over for her. Oh, Archer Nobu. That used to be a character. Remember that, chat? And then she got an animation update called Avenger Nobu. Remember that? And then completely forgotten. And then I love how they put her in the welfare shop now. Like anyone is going to use her. What's sad is, you know, someone's gonna blow. Someone's gonna get, you know, like blow their early account welfare purchasing stuff on Nobu because they like Nobu. And then they're gonna be like, wow, this unit's crap. And their animations are bad. And then they summon a friend's Avenger Nobu and they're just pissed. That's probably already happened. I mean, talk about feeling like a welfare version of a character now. Like, you get her for free from the shop and just no effort. This is why I liked animation updates. Chad, do you think... I don't think this is why. But do you think part... I don't believe what I'm saying. I think this is false, but I don't know. But like, one of the many reasons they might be happy to not do animation updates is because they want the easily accessible, the old characters that you know people just have to not feel awesome and special, so you want to roll on the fancy new thing. That is really like pessimistic. Like, that's so pessimistic, where like they don't want your Leonidas from your FP summon to be awesome, so you want to roll on that new thing that's awesome, right? I know some companies do that. That's absolutely happened with games before. But I would hope they're not that cynical, considering, you know, they at least did do animation updates before. I truly think the reasons that we don't get animation updates is because they just can't be bothered. I just think they can't be bothered. They don't have a lot of staff. They can barely keep up with the bare bones content they give us. So they can't give us this bare bones content and animation updates, right? That's what I think is happening. I still can't believe during all that FGO drama, and it wasn't just the one guy. I saw a few people that were unironically defending the fact that we don't get animation updates anymore. Like that one guy's like, Jalter doesn't need an animation update. I'm like, do you think any Jalter fan is going to agree with you? Like any? Like what the fuck? It's so stupid, dude. That is just like so much copium. Just so much fucking copium, dude. Like no one in their, it's one thing to be like, you know, I personally don't care about Jalter that much, right? That's fine, right? That's fine. But then again, this is where like having standards comes into play and integrity, right? So like I like Billy the Kid, right? So I'd like a Billy the Kid animation update. Therefore, I'm aware that like fans of Mata Hari feel that way about Mata Hari. So I want them to get a Mata Hari animation update. I just don't have any respect for people that are like that, like that, right? It's kind of like you're a PlayStation fan, so you only want good games on PlayStation and you hope every game on Xbox sucks. That's childish, man. Right? It's like, and that's why I was upset when Ku got buffed so many times, because yeah, I like Ku, but you have all these other Lancers out there that other people like, and they're dog shit. So why can't they get a buff, right? Yeah, I don't like when people like lose their objectivity like that though, and they only care about what they care about, and they can't walk a mile in someone else's shoes or any of that kind of stuff. And obviously, it's not good for the player base when you have a bunch of like fan favorite characters like Jalter or Leonidas, and I mean, there's so fucking many now. That just suck, right? They either be it gameplay or their animations being bad or both. You know, this is not a good state for a game. God, leveling is fine. Who the fuck thinks leveling is fine? Like anyone, like what? Like, you know what's crazy, chat? And I know I'm not alone in this. One of the main reasons I don't have more level 120s is because I cannot be asked to deal with that UI for that long. Like yes, it's hard to farm all those embers, right? It's a lot of embers you have to farm, and it's a lot of grails, but then you still have to sit there for just an outrageous amount of time, just slowly doing the XP 20 at a time. I have to bring up Arknights real quick. I have to show this because there's probably a few, there's like 9 people in my chat that haven't seen what Arknights is. Because by the way, Arknights, same game engine as FGO, but they used to do leveling a lot like FGO does, right? It was actually, I think it was still better for them because I don't think they capped it at like 20. Wait, what the fuck is FGO doing? I've always known how bad FGO leveling is, but now that I didn't even realize it was that bad. Why the fuck are we capped at 20 cards? Why can't you just feed the server at 300 cards or whatever? Like, why? Like, literally, what the fuck? Leveling is fine. Oh my god. But anyway, Arknights used to be where you know, you had to click like each time individually for each like XP card you wanted to give to the character, right? And you might have to click like 100 or something. So it could still take a second. But that was still better than FGO because you didn't have to stop every 20. Like, what the fuck? Why do we have to stop every 20? Like, why? What the fuck is that? Like, the more I think about it, the dumber it is. And also you have to watch an animation and go through a loading screen and, you know, just Jesus fucking Christ. But okay. But anyway, Arknights was similar to FGO, although, you know, better. But they updated it to not be like that. And what they did was extremely simple. And I don't know why FGO doesn't do this. Let me just show it right now here. So let me, who do I have that can be leveled? Okay, Mountain, here we go. So if you want to level up your boy here, you literally just go to the level you want to take him to. And then it shows, look, it'll take 12 of these and 1 of these. Right? Now, and by the way, the later levels, when you like ascend and stuff, you know, it'll be like 100 and you know, 150 and it'll be a huge amount. Right? So it's not like it's you know, always small numbers. But yeah, it just literally will show you need this many. And if you don't have it, you can't do it. Right? It's just that easy. Yeah, I know I'm whiffing sanity. But it's literally that easy. You just do this, go to this, And then it's just one click. You just click the button, boom, you're level 50. That's it. And this is the same game engine as FGO. They're using the exact same game engine as FGO. Okay, chat, are you happy? I will do a fucking auto here in the background, so I'm not whiffing my my sanity so much here. There you go. Anyway, back to FGO here. But yeah, why the hell is FGO like this? And look, I just don't get how people defend this, because changing it to that is not hard. That is not some. If you're an indie dev, right? If you're a one-man show, that's hard. Okay, if you're a one-man show with no money, you're changing the UI from the dog shit that it is now to something, you know, more reasonable. That's a lot of work. But for a company with this kind of money, it's nothing. That's fucking nothing. I mean, that is so. Yeah, look what we have to do. Look at this crap. Like we have to go in here. Let's see. Is there anyone I actually want to level here? Now, see, I do like Extra Vlad, but he's on my ult account really proper. But I wouldn't hate having him over here. In a stage. You know what? We'll do this. There we go. But look, why do I have to do any of this? Why? Like, what is actually? You're capped, right? You're capped on how many you can do at a time. Now, thankfully, this is going to hit the thing, but as you get higher, it won't, right? You generally don't max level out off 20, especially when you're going for 120, right? Like, why on earth do you have to do it? Like, and then you have to watch it. Like, what is all this? Like, why do I have to watch a fucking animation and then skip this thing and then like, what the hell? I can't imagine like defending this and thinking this does not need to be improved when the company has made billions with a B. Like, how can you expect so little from a company that makes that much money? Mind-blowing to me. A hero proofs though. Why does he have her? Why do you think? What do you think was rated up? Let's see if you can figure it out, chat. Don't tell him, chat. Don't tell him. There's logical steps here. Shut up, Ziggy. Shut your whore mouth, Ziggy. Did somebody spoil it? No. Oh, no. Yeah, Icy spoiled it. God, Icy, what have you done? Icy, what have you done? No. Now there's no deductive reasoning, right? There's no content here. Icy, you stole my content from me. What am I supposed to stream now, Icy? What am I supposed to do? Wait a minute. You know what, Icy? Where's your account? Are you on my friends list? Now we have to make Icy the content because he did this. Angie. I have no idea if I have you on my... I'm on NA? Okay, fuck. My NA's not up to date. God damn it. Hold on. Am I gonna update my NA just to snipe Icy? Probably not, because I'd have to switch emulators too, and then I'd have to update it. You know, one of these days I should stream Baldur's Gate 3, but I kind of want to, you know, play it with you. Oh, wait, Poi, are we supposed to play that tonight? Because if so, I gotta like remember what time it is, so I don't go too late. Maybe ask the boys, because I don't know if they're free or not. But yeah, I'll forget, and I'll like stream to like 1 a.m. without even thinking about it. Cairo's streaming right now? Okay, so I will let him know too. That's right, I think that, yeah, it's Friday. Alright, you know what, chat? We'll man, I want to see Icy's account now. I really do. Alright, we'll look at a random. The randoms are hilarious. Like, you see some weird shit. We've only seen one Leviathan so far, though, when looking at randoms. I need a stage that doesn't cost a bunch of AP. Why does a bronze apple reward stage cost 30 AP? Yeah, I hate all the bots, dude. It makes it really annoying. But it is the state of the game right now. Oh, wait, you can't do supports on that one. Alrighty, what do we got here? Okay, we got a Grailed Bedivere. That's not a bad start. Level 154. So I've been playing for a good while. Well, it already doesn't look like a whale because these K-scopes are not limit broken. And there's not a lot of 5 stars here either. And then the 5 stars are all NP1. Yeah, this guy is absolutely not a whale. Look at this. Very few 5 stars, and then they're all NP1. And no MLB K-scope. And you can get an MLB K-scope as a free-to-play, but if you don't have one, then you're definitely not whaling. I don't think this is even a dolphin. Yeah, he's even got a soccer scope. Let's see, we got Grail, Tristan, and Bedivere, so seems to be a Night of the Round fan. We got a 102. Why am I forgetting Bob? That's the one. Man, I am so bad with names in my old age, chat. Like I know the character, I know his motivation. Izo, thank you. Jesus, this is gonna be bad. Yeah, and Ryoma too. Yeah, I gotta think Guadia when you fight him in the Solomon form. Let's see, what do we got? No, okay, Grails. So every Grail unit so far has been a guy. I can't help but notice. Let's see. Okay. Now, chat, that's interesting. That's oh, it was Nobu Grailed? Yeah, that one, yeah, Grailed to 90, but I mean like, chat, please. I mean 100 plus, okay? Are you kidding me? This rabble with the 90? A French fan. But I find it funny that the guys are the only, like, look, 100 on Tristan, 100 on Bedivere, 102 on Ryoma, 102 on Izo, right? Yeah, this is some effort here. 100 on Bob what is his name? Not Moro. What the fuck is his name? Yeah, I'm getting really bad at this. Muramasa. That's the one. I knew it was something like that. I will say it's Friday in my defense. I am way more fucked up on Friday because I get way less sleep because I have to wake up early to go to the doctor and I get pumped full of drugs, okay? So, you know, I am consistently more fucked in the head on Friday. So that's my out on this one. Shiro, yeah. But anyway, so the only Grail to 100 or higher on the account so far is Antoinette. And that is so unique, right? So if I saw an account that had a bunch of guys Grailed and they've got like Morgan Grailed, that wouldn't be too surprising. Or Artoria, or Masashi, right? But it's Antoinette, right? That is really rare and really specific. So I actually am kind of wondering if this is a lady player, because I could see like that being a character they might hype, right? Look, they got a Grailed Sanson. Okay, this person does have a degree of taste. I mean, they got Raiko, so eh. But I mean, they got the correct skin, you know, the correct ascent stage, the right answer for Amakusa Shiro here. Okay, there's a right and wrong answer here, and this is the right answer. Okay. Now, of course, you can be a guy and like these characters. I mean, I like Sanson, I like Bedivere, and so on and so forth. So it's not necessarily a lady player, but this is a list that I would not be surprised by if this turned out to be a lady. This would not shock me even a little bit if it was. But yeah, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. You know, people have all kinds of taste and what they like and don't like. So 2K Fode. Cat, level 101. 2K Fode. Not 10,000 attack. Just so shit, dude. Like, what is wrong with this game? Yeah, I'm not a Raiko fan. I'm sorry, chat. It's just the art style and everything. It's just nope. Not my cup of tea. This was an interesting support list, though. Definitely not a whale, though. Really unique taste on that one. All right, what do we got here? See these NP ranks. Okay. What's the level? What's the level? 138. This could be a whale. They don't have MLB K-scope and all that, but they're not that old of an account, seemingly. Now it could be an ult, right? And like, actually, this being an ult would make a lot of sense because you can, on an ult account, you can stockpile SQ and oh, Gilgamesh is rated up and you roll a bunch. I mean, I did that, right? I literally had an ult account just sitting there doing nothing for ages, and I stockpiled SQ, and I got, I think, NP4, specifically Gilgamesh. right? So this could just be an ult account. But it could be a newer player, right, that has whaled a bit. Not loads, because if it was a super whale, this would be limit broken, he'd be NP5. This is NP1. I think this could very well, though, be a willpower ult account. Or because the thing is, if it's not an ult account, it is weird at 138. If you've been playing for like a year, or so, it's probably where we're gonna be is about 138, I would think. And generally in a year alone, you're not gonna get. I mean, you could, if you got lucky, you could get like an NP1 Gramps and NP4 Gil, and also one of these could be, like, this could be the free 5-star, the Artoria. So I mean, this is definitely possible at 138 on a free to play, but it's a bit hard. It's a bit hard. Definitely not a Leviathan though, or anything like that. Not a chance. There's no other support list, which makes me think he doesn't have a bunch of other units worth showing, which makes me think this is probably free to play. I don't think he has a lot of other 5-stars. And again, like, Ereshkigal is only NP2. I think, yeah, NP2, NP1. She has NP4. I mean, it could be a dolphin. This could be a dolphin or a fish, where, like, doesn't spend much, but does spend, like, concentrated on the few things that he wants, and just hasn't been playing super long. That is kind of my guess. That is my guess is spends a bit, but nothing crazy, right? And it's only spending on, like, man, I really like that unit, right? That's kind of what this seems like. Or it's an ult account, right? Because you'll have this pretty much the same result off an ult account that just sits there collecting SQ, but you don't play it super actively, so you don't level. That's the thing. If it's an ult account, you don't level as much, right? Like, fuck, let me check. What's my ult account? I don't even know. Let me see here. Okay, I don't need Arc Knights up. I'll look at my oldest ult account, right? So some of my ult accounts are super low, but we'll look at my Gilgamesh one, which is super free to play, and it does have an MP4 Gilgamesh, etc., etc. I'm definitely higher than him. Although I'll tell you what, though, part of why I'm going to be higher level is because I'm a streamer, and I often will, like, make videos on my main account and then stream it, like, you know, for funsies on my ult account. And because of that, I have farmed more, because I know I know now that I'm going to stream my ult account, and I want to have fun characters to use when streaming. So I farm more. Like, hands down I do. If I didn't stream, this account would still have, fuck all characters. It would have, like, the free-to-play backbone characters, and it would still probably just be, like, the few golds that I super want, right? It'd be, like, Lancer Vlad, or, you know, Extra Vlad, Proto-Ku, Gilgamesh, Gwaine, probably, like, Summer Martha, you know, a few other. It'd be bare bones as fuck. So I've done a lot more farming on this account just because of streaming, but I still bet you it's lower level. Let me see here. I'm having to update. 1 second. Like my Herc account, right? The Herc account is more of like a normal ult account. You know, I might log into it here and there, but you know, I don't sit around farming on it. You know, like every once in a while I'll play an event on it. But I suspect the Herc account probably is like 130 or something like that. I mean, hell, it may not even be that high. I'm not sure. It is at the very end of Lost Belt 7, though. So, I mean, that's fairly far. Yeah, when you get a lot stockpiled, you don't need to play as much. Absolutely. It is fun guessing this kind of thing, though. Dude, look how long it takes just to fucking log into this game. Arc Knights is kind of bad about that too, though. They're better, but they both really suck at booting up. I'll take all this free stuff, though. All right, wow, only 145. Holy shit! And I play this account way more than I play my other ult accounts. Yeah, 138 could very well just be an ult account. But yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. I would say it's either an ult account, or it's someone that barely doesn't play very often, or it's a newer dolphin, right? But definitely not like a super whale. Not a chance. What did you roll on? What do you mean? The ult account? I roll on like whatever the fuck. I don't even remember what we rolled on recently. My ult, I just kind of do whatever. No, not Andromeda. It was before that. I don't give a fuck about Andromeda. I did roll on Theseus and stuff. I honestly, I don't even remember. I think we just might have been like Summer Masashi or something, just to like have a different AoE Berserker or something. I don't even know. I don't remember. But I didn't have much to begin with. I remember that account I'd rolled on a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's actually been in that state for quite a while. I haven't been logging in, so it's been out of SQ for quite a while. I don't really need a stockpile because they don't add I haven't been stockpiling my ults much because my main has a bunch of SQ, and I just don't see them adding anything that I want to roll on my main for a while. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just roll on something that I might vaguely have fun with on my ults and just whatever. And you know, getting random bullshit, you know, I kind of like getting things that I wouldn't normally roll on my ult accounts because they're ult accounts. I don't want them to be carbon copies of my main. And I've kind of realized that recently, that my ult account was a little too similar to my main, but just worse. So I've been trying to just make it more different. And so yeah, the thing is, I have such narrow taste that I don't really think like what to roll on a lot of the time. So, but yeah, you know, I'm pretty specific in what I generally aim for, and they don't add that stuff very often. So. Okay, so we've got Achilles, Gil, and Kidu. Who's grailed here, though? So Gil's grailed, Morgan grailed, Artoria grailed. Probably a Fate Stay Night fan. Not a lot of grailed stuff, though. Also, definitely not a whale because not MLB on K-Scope. MLB Black Grail, but I mean, that's nothing. You play the game for a while, and it's not rare to get MLB of generic CEs. What level are they? 146. I mean, well, hell, that's higher level than my ult, and my ult has MLB K-Scope, I'm pretty sure. And it just got MLB Black Grail. Like, my ult is higher level than this guy by a little bit, but not by much. They're basically the same. And hell, I have better CEs than this guy does. So yeah, definitely not a whale. Yeah, NP3, NP2, NP2, that's nothing. I don't think he's even a fish. What's Scatty? NP1. Yeah, NP1. Yeah, this guy's a fish. Like, I mean, not even a fish. I think he's just straight free to play. Yeah, maybe GSSR, right? Maybe he does GSSR. Look at these. Look at this guy. This guy's okay. My man. Like, he's on your support list. That buff's been out for a good while now. You need to go do that. Okay, level 23. Let's see here. Okay, at least this one's 100. I'd say... Brother, you gotta go do your buff quests. What are we doing here? If this guy had done his buff quests and both of these were leveled up, I would have called him a genius, you know, beyond the rest of us. But he's only a smart fellow for using such what a clever craft essence. What an intelligent guy being able to pick out this craft essence as a worthwhile CE to use. Good. Very smart player here, chat. Does need to work on those strengthening quests, though. Waiting for half AP, I know, right? That was this one. So his favorite character is Tam, or Veach, excuse me, Assassin Veach there. Assuming his favorite mark is actually accurate, some people don't actually put it on their favorite because they forget the system exists. These people do not have multiple lists up. All right, what do we got here? We have a bunch of whack, like, I guess Lost Belt 6 stuff, I guess. But we got like fucking Space Ishtar. Definitely not though a whale though, considering the NP rank. I mean NP1, NP1, NP1. I mean NP2 there, but no MLB stuff. A lot of welfare CEs. Horrible skill ranks. What level is this guy? Okay, 133. Okay, I can give that somewhat of a pass. But yeah, pretty bad skill ranks here. Got some work to be done there. We got the level 100 Hercules. Funnily enough, that's the only level 100. Wait, is he the only grailed one? The only grailed unit is Hercules. And he's working on 2K foe. Man's got some priorities. You do see that though. There's a lot of people that just like Hercules and they know he's a great carry and they're just happy to make him like their go-getter, right? Makes sense. But yeah, no one else is even grailed. So maybe he just hasn't found another character that he's like, man, he's like, I like these, but they're not like my favorite, right? So maybe he's like saving up for somebody or something like that. Okay, this guy's 135. We're getting a lot of people in that range here. Not looking like a whale whatsoever because, you know, not MLB. Although pretty decent NP ranks. Now, this is always tricky because if you stockpile, right, and you really focus on certain characters, you can 1000% get NP ranks like this as a free-to-play. You just can. But he is slightly lower account level. So it is, I would guess fish or dolphin would be my guess. He's probably spent a little bit, but not a bunch. You know, maybe GSSR, you know, maybe rolls a little bit here and there. But it is certainly possible that he just stockpiled and these are like the only characters he's rolled on. Because he doesn't have a second support page. So he probably doesn't have a bunch of characters to show off. So I doubt this guy's actually rolled for much more than what we actually see here. And it's not like they're NP5 or anything. Now, who's Grailed? Chet, I think a lot of people pick Hercules as a free 4-star. I really think that's a thing. I mean, I did, for crying out loud. So Arthur is Grailed. Herc is Grailed a bit, but not to 100. Arthur is the only level 100 here. Has not done the buff quest. My man, look, if he wasn't Grailed, it'd be one thing, but you're only level 100. Like, you gotta get those ranks up. Could be an ult account. That would explain some of that. All right, 170, chat. These 170s are super rare, right? Like, we've been looking at a lot of accounts these last few days, and there's been very few 170s. You know, I'm 163, right? So, like, 170 is crazy how... So, Ushi's his favorite. Not even Avenger Ushi, just vanilla. You know this guy likes the Babylonia anime. Look, now, this is a little tricky. Because... You might say, oh, it's a whale because MLB K-Scope. But he's level 170. This man has probably been playing the game for 9 years. I actually kind of suspect this guy's not a whale. Because this isn't limit broken. She's only NP3. I think this guy maybe is a fish. But this could easily be free to play. Like, I mean it. Like, there's a lot of NP5s. But if you play for 9 fucking years... Look, I've been playing for like 7.5, 8 years. And I only have, and you know, I'm like 99% free to play. You know, obviously there was the Edmund thing. But, you know, I only have 1 NP5. But if I wanted to, I could have more than that. Right? I've spread out my roles more than I actually have to. If I wanted to, I could probably have 3 or 4 NP5 5-stars. Now, I'd have way less 5-stars total if I did that. But this is possible. Like, what this, and like, some of these are pretty low NP ranks. Now, that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like, maybe he dolphins a bit every once in a while. Right? Like, he probably, most of the time, he's not using paid SQ. But it wouldn't shock me if he's done some. But I don't really think he's done much, because these are a lot of free welfare CEs. And this isn't limit broken. If you're consistently whaling, this is going to be limit broken. And again, he's level 170. This guy might be a day 1 player, right? And if you guys realize, if you play from day 1 to now, do you realize how much free-to-play SQ that is? I mean, you can easily have all these. You could have more NP5s than this, if anything. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's not a Leviathan. It's not. There's no world where this wouldn't be limit broken. She'd be NP5, right? This would be NP5. This would be NP5, right? Like, Castori is NP1, right? So this is absolutely not a Leviathan, and I don't even think it's a whale, but it could be a dolphin. But it is completely possible it's not. Like, yeah, I would guess small dolphin, not even a big boy dolphin. I would say small dolphin, because this is completely doable as free to play, but it'd be a little tough. It'd be a little tough. But like, if I wanted to, over the years I've played, I could have an account that looks like this. You know, right now I'm kind of, you know, I don't have multiple NP5 5-stars, but like I could, right? If I'd wanted to, I could. It is possible. But yeah, I think it's like barely a dolphin, especially because of this Black Grail. I mean, he's close, but like, it's not hard, even as a free to, like, honestly, this guy's had pretty bad luck, I would say, because if you play this game for years, which he clearly has, it'd be weird if he didn't have these K-scopes. As a free-to-play, it'd be weird if he didn't have these K-scopes. Right? I have a bunch of free-to-play accounts, and almost all of them have MLB K-scopes now. The ones that I've had for a while anyway. Right? So he's actually unlucky that this is not limit broken yet, even if he is free-to-play. But yeah, probably has spent a little bit. I would say maybe like when there's a character he super likes, spends a bit. But this does not look like someone that spends a lot. And yeah, I think he's... but anyway, as for taste, though, you're obviously a big Ushi fan because you got, you know, both of them. My boy farms though. Like look at that, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120. 120. Wow, on that one. Look, he's got 2 Castorias. I just realized. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, holy shit though. This guy has done the XP daily a lot. Like holy shit. I don't think it's even a mid dolphin though, because again, he's 170. So he's most likely been playing this game for a long time. I mean, that is just so much free SQ over the years. Now, it is possible that he hasn't played the game quite as long as I thought, and the reason he's 170 is because he's reset his AP a lot through SQ to farm more. So it is possible he's not a super old account, but he very well could be. I mean, he very well could be. But yeah, I would say probably has been a bit, but nothing crazy. Oh wait, was that Lily? They look so freaking similar. No, they're both caster. This isn't her Lily Berserker. Oh no, it's Morgan Lily, not Berserker Castoria. Yeah, okay. They look so freaking similar, chat. Okay, I mean, who's gonna even remember this nonsense? But yeah, that's Morgan. Excuse me. I have seen people though that double up on that. Okay, 161. So this guy has not played as much as me, but is up there. He's not way behind me. Although I guess with my ult accounts, maybe he's a bit behind me, but he could have ult accounts too. So, but in around the amount of like playtime I have, just a chunk behind. Okay, probably not a whale. Again, people see this stuff and they think, oh, whale. Very unlikely. Like, if you play the game for a long time, I really mean this. I have a lot of data to back this up because I know so many people that play this game. I've looked at so many accounts. I've got all my ults and stuff. If you've played this game for years and years and years, you are more likely to have like a chunk of MLB default CEs. It's weird if you don't. I mean this. It is weird if you've been playing the game for years and years and years and you don't have an MLB K-scope. Now, I know someone's going to be all, life gets to you, you know, because they've been playing the game for 5.5 years or 6 years, and they don't have an MLB K-scope. But it's really rare. It is really rare. And because he's only got the 1, and these NP ranks are pretty low, I don't think this guy's a whale at all. Because he had a lot of NP1, NP2, and, like, she's a 4-star. Because, again, I'm free to play except for Edmund. And I can outdo this guy's support list in terms of like rare stuff. Well, kind of. I can't like on like Rider and stuff like that. But and yeah, and look at all these free welfare CEs. Yeah, I don't. Maybe he's done GSSR, right? Maybe he's done GSSR. And I bet you he picked her as his free 5-star. Cope scope. Look at this. He's using cope scope, which is weird because he has a second K scope. That's probably an oversight. Because he could actually give her K-scope instead of cope-scope. Maybe he doesn't realize that the CEs can be duplicated on the different pages. He might legitimately not know that. Holy hell, this guy's an Artoria fan. Holy hell, this guy's an Artoria fan. Like, almost every single one of these is Artoria, and the few that aren't are Artoria faces. So, yeah, wow. Who's Grailed though? None of okay, only Saber Alter here is Grailed, but only to 90. What is happening on the guys? Do you guys realize? Look at this. 161 is a very high account level, right? Like that's very close to mine, right? That you can be playing this game for just ages and only be at 161, right? So this looks like a very long time player. Beat Guadia. And yeah, okay, Cuckoo, but this is so few Grails. Like that's not even 120. He has an 100 Cuckoo and a 90 Saber Alter. That's it. Oh, and a Hokusai. He has 3 Grailed units, none of which are 120, and one of which is only 90. Like, so I'm a comparable account to this guy. Right, we probably, you know, and he's probably done the whole main story, etc., etc. You know, we're basically the same account level. And look at this. I got a 120, a 106, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. right? And then I got a bunch of 90s and stuff that are, you know, are grailed up from like 4 stars or 3 stars. Look, like these are both grailed. Percival's grailed. Grailed a bit. You know, I got a VC Braun and Medusa down there. Like, I have so many more. Oh, and Siegfried's grailed. Like, I have so many more grailed units than him. That man is stockpiling. I don't know for what, but that man is stockpiling. He's like, what if he added another Artoria face that I like even more? I didn't 120 anyone until Arcade. Yeah, I know some people don't, you know, they only wanted 120 like that one thing. It's a lot of work. I mean, I've only 120'd the one, right? What I'm waiting on, though, for Mori is coins. He probably would be 120 if that wasn't the case. But yeah, all I've got is Q. But my point's not even the lack of a 120. It's the lack of 100s. That guy basically graded nothing to 100. It was all like default level and 90. I grailed a 90. That was it. Where, I mean, look. I mean, Jesus, I've got a lot. And I've got a few excess grails right now, too. And I'm about to get another one from this event. Do you think that's a thing, chat? Since they announced the 120 system, I rarely 100 my servants. Do you think a lot of people are doing that now? Where they're like, wait a minute, I gotta be more careful with these grails. I gotta look out for those characters I super want. I do that. Yeah, maybe that is, I could see that being a thing. That's actually kind of cool though. It makes grails matter a bit more. I don't hate that. The only thing I don't like about 120ing is the stat line of a 5-star at 120 is too much. Like if you, and chat, what I'm about to say, you can do as a free-to-play, right? If you stockpile, like I'm just gonna really focus on that one character, right? Let's say you save up for, you know, around for 1 year, and you focus on, I'm just gonna get Scath when she's rated up, or Gil, or you know, whatever. You can get an NP5 5-star, right? You can do, I mean, I have an NP5 Mordred, right? Although that did take quite a while, but like it was mini rate ups, it wasn't all at once. But so you can get an NP5 5-star, and then you make them 120. You 2K foe them, you faux pas them, etc., right? Like the stat line is just nuts. Like, I mean, like an NP5 5 and a good one. Let's say you have like Masashi or something, right? With an upgraded NP and all that fancy crap. Like those numbers are just crazy. Like just, and if you're a berserker, right? Like Morgan or something, so you're applicable in like any content. That is just, you're kind of like, that's like game breaking, like how often you can use them in like fuck up challenge quests and whatnot. That's interesting though. I never really thought about that. People stockpiling more because of 120. But yeah, now that it's, I guess 90 to 100 is still pretty brutal, isn't it? And so it's like, well, if I grail to 100 now, that's gonna butcher my ability to 120 somebody I really like, or even to 90 somebody that I like, right? So do you think a lot of people are going to 90 and then 120 and that's it? It's like 90 or 120, not as many of the hundreds. Yeah, I imagine a lot of the hundreds we see probably are like grandfathered in from the past, right? And that's kind of why I do like the 120 system though, is because it was getting to the point where it was just so many level 100s. Like so many support lists were just nothing but level 100s, right? It didn't mean anything anymore. Stockpiling for when they release 150. Don't even, just, oh God, please don't do that. The only way you could do that is if you like upped the default level cap and then gave people grails back or something for like when it kind of, you know, caught up with that. Because like it'd be so hard. I don't want them to do that though, because then like old content becomes more trivialized, right? I don't want that kind of power creep. Like I think 120 was already pushing it when it comes to stats. So and like it's not really pushing it for 1 to 3 stars. It's pushing it a little bit on 4 stars, but it is definitely pushing it on 5 stars. Because, for example, Ku at 120 is essentially being turned into a regular 5-star, right? That's not a big deal, right? Like just having the equivalent of a regular 5, like maybe this is, I guess better. Maybe this is more like a level 100 5-star, I would say, right? I think. Let me see here. Let me see if I'm talking out. So he is 17 and change, and then 13.5. So 17 and 13.5. So this is a regular 5-star. 15 and okay. So he is. That's actually surprising. A 3-star with stat upgraded. Also, hello. Was it Maul? But a 3-star maxed out is better than a 5-star vanilla. But let me find a 100 5-star, because that's what I'm thinking. It's more like a 100 5-star. Do I not have a level 100 5-star? Oh no, I have Tesla. Now archers and lancers have slightly different stats and whatnot. But okay, this is pretty comparable. So when you grail a 3-star and you go ham, I don't think you're pushing the stat line though. It's not like it's not gonna be like power creep through like a boss fight in the main story or anything like that, because these are stats that you could have had anyway. It just would have been on a 5-star instead, right? So I legitimately think this is fine. I do think 123 stars are strong, but I mean clearly this isn't broken, because you were capable of having stats like this since Camelot, essentially, right? Because around Camelot is when they added the Grail system. I think it was like the anniversary around there or something like that. I think, wasn't it the first year anniversary that did the Grail system? I think it was. So yeah, since year one, like after year 1 of FGO, you've been able to have stats like this. So turning a 3-star into that, I do not think is a big deal. But when you look at what you get off of, like, let me find Max, because I know Max has a maximum Mordred. I'll talk about the 120 versus 100 thing in a second, but let's see here. Where is Max? There we go. Oh wow, Max hasn't logged in a while. I can't say I'm surprised though, due to the state of the game. That is kind of sad though. Oof. Yeah, they've been playing Arknights though. But okay, so this is a 5-star. See, this is getting a bit much. Right? That is a lot of stats, right? Yeah, I know, Grail Jekyll, what are you gonna do? Like that's getting to the point where you are getting a little power creepy, relative to what the enemy content normally is. Or you start making the enemy content harder, expecting people to have units like this, but then if you don't have units like this, you're fucked, right? So it's kind of a hard spot to be in. Hey, look at that, almost 21,000 and almost 20,000. Jeez, that's strong. Now, it's more worth getting others to 100 than a 120 servants, I think. Getting 120 is brutal. Okay, so getting 120 is brutal, but it kind of depends. So I think getting a lot of people to 120 is pretty rough and may not be worth it. But having that one ace in the hole is not a bad thing, especially if it is a unit that is applicable in a lot of situations, like Summer Masashi or Gilgamesh or Morgan or God Juna. There's certain units, and there's a bunch of other ones too. I mean, there's a lot. Hercules, right? There are certain units that are applicable very often, right? And in a wide variety for both farming and challenge quests, right? So units like that at 120 can be a very helpful thing to your account. And look, it takes more grails to 120 Ku than it does like Morgan, right? And I've been able to 120 him and still grail a bunch of other shit, right? However, you're not wrong. For most content, 100s are good enough. And you can 100 a hell of a lot more characters than you can 120. And you can even 90 people, right? There's a lot of units like, yeah, let's say you want to use Percival a lot. And he is a good unit with him tanking and healing and doing decent damage and looping and having taunt, right? This is a very useful unit for both farming and challenge quests. Percival is a very universal unit. But it's not like he has to be 100. 90 is pretty nice on Percival, right? It's going to help your account a lot. And so having units like Percival, like maybe you take Tristan, that's a really useful unit with the buff removal and the team-wide evade and all that. Taking Tristan to 90, that's generally good enough, right? It isn't... 120ing is not practical very often, but I do think there's an argument for like some of those really busted units that have wide-reaching variety, like how often they're good, that it really is good to 120 them. Like it really does make a lot of content easier. I think Morgan and like God Juna are great examples of that. And like, let's say you pick the Lolly Dragon, like people are saying, or Enkidu, or for Saber, you've got like Saber Masashi or something, right? Whenever their class comes up, or when they're expecting you to be at neutral, or there's like a class that you're gonna have to fight at neutral even if you're not supposed to, it's gonna be good enough, right? Like someone like Lolly Dragon, Enkidu, Masashi, Kama, And there's a bunch of really good units like that. Loads of good units. They're gonna do so well that it's like, man, it's like a free ticket on some of these hard stages. My Gareth at 120 still needs effort to work. Yeah, 2 stars are... You can't strong arm the game with 1 and 2 stars, really. Because, like, even Kojiro, right, these stats are still lacking a bit. So at 120, he's going to be like a really nice 4-star at 120. Like a really nice 4-star at 120. But that's not game-breaking, right? Like, that's not game-breaking at all. Right, and like I said, Ku's only a little game-breaking, I would say. Because, you know, he's a bit higher stats than a regular 5-star. Right? Well, he's like a level 100 5-star, right? That's pretty good. And Ku does have an exceptionally good toolkit that does scale with stats really well. So, like, I'll say this, and I say this with a lot of experience. If it's an archer boss, it's free real estate. I mean, it is such free real estate. And then it's almost free real estate when they're berserkers, because Ku obviously has a very good toolkit for fighting berserkers, and then he has anti-berserker. So every archer that walks is dead. Every berserker that walks is probably also dead. And if the game is making you fight it neutral, he does very, very well, right? That's really strong. But that's like, you know, 2.5 classes, if you will, right? That's a lot of mileage, but that's not game breaking. It's good. It's really good. But, you know, game breaking is like, you know, Summer Masashi or like Morgan or something, right? The mileage there is just, you know, it's just insanity how often you're going to be able to do that. Yeah, honestly, Space Ishtar is a pretty flexible unit for a lot of circumstances. Almost as good as Santa Karna. You wish, dude. You wish. Got that the wrong way. I do wish there was a stage, chat, that we could really... Because obviously one's Saber, one's Lancer. And I will say, last time we tested them, chat acts like Saber Karna won, but he didn't. Like, at all. You know, Ku had extra turns and the bad RNG. Like, that was so dumb that chat acted like they were equal there. They weren't, absolutely were not. But I wish we had a stage where we could like push both of them and see. Because now Ace's Karna is 120, Santa Karna and all that. So it'll be interesting to see. So Santa Karna has the slight stat advantage. But I think Ku very much has the better toolkit. So, not that Santa Karna's is bad, but I think Ku's is quite a bit better. We'll see. Well, PvP wouldn't do shit because you just one-shot it. There's no way that even a Lancer could one-shot a Saber, dude, if they did PvP. Like, it was just whoever gets the attack off first is probably going to win. It'd be, oh my god, this game in PvP is just such a bad idea. On such a fundamental level, like, please don't do that. Yeah, they'd have to do some pretty serious changes. So, any Andromedas in chat? Any Andromeda gamers? Hey, Beasleam. You know, I might grail her someday, honestly. Just because her gameplay was, like, really fun. And I like grailing my 3 stars. But, I got a few other things I'd want to grail first. But, I could see me grailing her at some point. She's a lot of fun. I finally grailed Robin. And then I got... Dude, I can't believe I was burning my copies of Robin. I thought... So, I have a level 70 Robin and a level 90 Robin. I thought my level 70 Robin was in P5. He's not. He's in P2. And I've burned like 10 billion Robins over the years. So I fucked up. I hope I can fix that soon. I need something to, Yeah, I like Andromeda's kit, but... Yeah, it's not really my kind of character. I mean, I don't hate her. You know, I've definitely seen worse out there. I kind of wish that you could... So, like, her first stage is kind of a more, like, anime, you know, typical Greek design. But then it's got the kind of space wings. Right? And then stage 3's got green stuff, which that's cool. But then it looks like a Power Rangers villain. So, can we have, like, the first stage without the space wings, but then you have green powers? Can we, like... Can we do that? That would help. But yeah, as is, I was like, eh. It's just not really my kind of character. Too, I don't know, happy. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but not exactly my shtick. Yeah, I know. And then stage 2 is just a summer character, so. Nuh-uh. What's the nuh-uh for? Are we having a finger wagging competition in chat here? All right, where are the Andromedas? Not existent, apparently. Come on, just give me something here. You know we'll finally get one and it'll be like 666 or some such nonsense. I'm surprised we haven't gotten one though, like 2 days of trying this. You can't do event bonus. This isn't an event. And I don't want to use her in the event because then she gets the event bonus and then you're not testing anything. Yeah, I want to use her against the million HP dragon. The best thing about Andromeda though is the toolkit. I like tanks and they actually did it in a pretty fun way. So that is cool, but certainly not cool enough that I'm gonna roll by any means. But apparently it's not enough to get other people to roll either though. Damn. Not to be, I guess. Thought about it, gotta save. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff potentially on the horizon with the main story and Fate Strange Fake and all that. That's a unit right there. Probably should have brought Atlas. Does Andromeda power creep Europa? I don't think so. They don't have that much in common. Like, they both have the defense thing, but Europa's got, like, you know, invulnerability and stuff like that. So although they are both tanky riders, I think they ultimately have fairly different options. Let me look at Europa. I haven't used her in a minute. But I don't think so. I think they're fairly different. Yeah, because she's got the whole like PFA but invulnerability thing. That's not quite as good, longer cooldown, etc., etc. But like she might be power creep for farming. But yeah, no, I don't think she's power creep at all. They do have some things in common, but and yeah, she's got the charm, which buys time for the invulnerability. And there's just time where the invulnerability is going to be so much better than the other options. Now, where it is kind of a rough comparison, maybe is the damage. But let's see, Europa's got the buster up on her NP every time. I mean, that's pretty sick. And then she's got the 30% damage up. She also got the defense down. Really, she's not even being power crept on damage. Because Andromeda's got the 30% damage up and then 30% NP up. Where Europa's got the defense down 20%, the 30% up. That's only 10% behind, but then she's got the 20% buster up on her NP. So Europa's actually doing pretty good still. I mean, she always has performed well. She's kind of a sleeper unit in my opinion, where like people don't really pay her much mind, but she's pretty solid. She's pretty useful, and you know, she can farm for you and stuff. And if there is an AoE challenge quest, and there are plenty of those, or you need an AoE rider, I think she's fine. And you could certainly use them together, because Europa's kind of a support anyway, because she's a tank, and tanks are in a way a support. So you might have an AoE challenge quest where AoE riders are better than normal, and Europa's the main DPS, and then Andromeda is like a support, and the other 4 units are all supports too. So you focus on Europa, you know, doing the damage and stuff, but if Andromeda gets some damage in too, that's great, right? That could work. Give Ricky an NP buff. I agree. I completely agree. To make his kit like fair relative to Ushi's, he needs to do significantly more NP damage than she does, and he does not do that right now. Yeah, caster fights really aren't that hard to begin with, because there's just so many, like, you have more NP gain than normal. Oftentimes they only have 2 actions per turn. Also, there's not limited, an unlimited, you know, craft essence exists to counter it, which most people have now, you know, origin bullet, right? That just makes those fights so much easier, generally speaking. There's a few exceptions though, there always is. I tell you, a class that I cannot think of an exception for, though, where they really push the envelope, is Archer. Has there ever been an Archer challenge quest or main story fight that they were really, you know, coming at you. Because I can't really think of one. I can think of some archer fights that were a bit tough, sure. But nothing like, not the, you know, Fluffy is the berserker fight right now, right? Now, there are challenge quests that are harder than Fluffy, right, of course. But, like, Fluffy is, like, the berserker fight for the most part. Funny thing about Fluffy, though, because he's been out so long, and because unlike challenge quests, you can redo them on different accounts and stuff, people have just figured that fight out so much, right? With a lot of challenge quests, people never figure them out, like, that much, for, like, how to do them budgety and stuff, because there's only so much time to do them. Because, like, normally challenge quests are available for, like, a week. You have a week to figure it out. And so they only get so optimized, right? And for the first week of Fluffy, there really weren't crazy, amazing, oh my god, optimized setups, especially for free-to-play. But because Fluffy's been out and is always there, right, he's been optimized to death. So people like completely have that fight figured out. But sometimes challenge quests are harder because of that, though, because there's just less time, right? You have less time to figure it out. But anyway, for archers, yeah, you've got the Lost Belt tree fight with Ash, but that's not just an archer. So and it's hard, but it's not that hard. That's not the Fluffy of archers. I'm not really sure they've had one. And we've had some really hard fights for assassins and stuff like that. Like, man, we've had some nasty boss fights for other classes, but I can't think of an archer off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look. And a big part of that, though, is because challenge quests these days, rarely, they do it sometimes, but they rarely have you fight a single enemy, right? They'd like to throw a bunch of whack enemies at you with a bunch of whack gimmicks to make figuring it out kind of the hard part, instead of you versus really, really tough foe. The main story does that more, but the main story likes to use weird classes. You know, you had the fight with Blue Arm Lady, Durga or whatever. You know, what was she, Alter Ego or some shit? You know, they do that a lot. When they throw a big boss at you, a lot of times it's like an extra class or, you know, maybe a berserker. But we've had a few that are maybe an assassin or a saber and stuff. But yeah, I can't think of like that time where we had like a big bad boss that was an archer. There's certainly been archers that are a very big part of a challenge quest, though. That has absolutely happened, where like the main enemy, because they normally do that in AoE challenge quests, right? Maybe there's 5 enemies, but one of them is way more annoying and has more health than the others, right? And that's been an archer plenty times, and I know that because coup stuff. Like that's absolutely happened. But yeah, I cannot think of a Fluffy fight that's an archer. Hopefully we'll get that someday, though, because then I can have fun with all my lancers. Okay, I think I cast this right away. I think I cast everything right away, actually. Thought about maybe not doing the Star Bomb, but I think it's fine. This guy's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, Durga was an archer, but that was... Wait, she wasn't an archer at the end, though, when she went blue form. Right, or that's Kali, technically. You know what I mean. Yeah, there was that archer fight with her, but that fight was hard, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't like crazy hard. Did I even make a Did I make a video for that? I know I made a video for Kali. I don't remember. Did I make one for? Oh, I did. I memed on it with Enkidu. I remember that now. Camelot Tristan is hard at the time, right? Because you're probably going to get to Tristan when your account is still scuffed. You're not going to have a bunch of, you know, premium lancers, 10, 10, 10, you know, level 90, level 100. You know, you're going to be, you're not going to have that. Now, nowadays, because power creep, your friend support will have that. So Tristan gets easier every day, really, because of that. Also, Tristan's not really an archer. You know, he's a lancer, essentially. He's a berserker lancer, right? Like, you need sabers, but then the sabers still take like berserker damage, right? So he's not really an archer, it's a lie. But Camelot is hard for the time, right? Like if you start an account right now and you don't dawdle, you just start playing through the story. When you get to Camelot, you very well might have a hard time with the Camelot boss fights. Now you can make them easy by summoning a friend support that's like outrageously strong, right? Like you summon a 120 from your friends list or even 100 from the friends list. You summon like Super Orion for Gwaine, right? You summon Saber Musashi or something for or Tori at the end, right? It's not gonna be hard, right? But if you use your units and stuff, it will be hard, right? Like, you can definitely have a hard time with those units. So I have to remind everyone, this is probably one of the biggest misconceptions on the internet. I did not make the Leonidas versus Kristen video. Now, I have done Leonidas versus Kristen, but I did not do that. My best friend did that. And we made similar style videos, but that mix-up has happened so much. Like, you are not alone in this mix-up. That mix-up has been made so many times. But yes, that's my friend that I've known since I was like 5 years old. Yeah, Kai the gamer on YouTube. He's the one that made that video. Now, I've done it on stream, right, and stuff. I don't think I ever made a video of it. I don't think. But yeah, I've done it on stream. But yeah, he was one of the first people to do it on a video. And there was actually, I think, a Japanese video even before that. So I think he did it on NA, and I think there was like just some small JP player that did it a long time ago. But yeah, he made a lot of 2 videos he made got conflated with me, and it's because I like Leonidas, he likes Leonidas, he likes Kojiro, I like Kojiro, and we kind of have similar styles and stuff. And we made videos around the same time and that kind of thing. But he made a Kojiro video that actually got crazy views. Like, actually, let's look. Chat, let's find out. I bet you I can find this easily. Let's see how many views his Kojiro videos got. But he's got a video where his Kojiro has 1 HP. You know, from fighting, what was it? Was it Mordred or something in Camelot? And everybody thought I made that video too. And it's because I've made a lot of Kojiro videos. Yeah, it's got 265,000 views, which is a lot for an FGO gameplay video. You know, it's not like a showcase of a new unit or a new NP or a story thing, right? It's just a, you know, meme gameplay video. But yeah, a lot of people thought I made that video too, but I did not. That one is more understandable though, because can you link it? Yeah, sure, I'll link it here. I'd watch it, but I think it has copyrighted music in it. I would have reacted, streamered it, but yeah, I think it's got copyrighted music, so I gotta be careful. But yeah, funny. Dude, this was 6 years ago, by the way. Probably like 6.5, 7, almost 7 years ago by now. But yeah, I made a bunch of Kojiro videos in the same era, so yeah, they got conflated. But it is funny, to this day, people think I made the Lancelot solo. But it's not that big of a deal, because like I said, he's my best buddy, and so, you know, no problem. Fuck, we old? Yeah, absolutely, we old. Still no David AU. Yep. I thought someday I'd get to make a David animation update video. And, you know, chat, I think my favorite thing in all my time in the FGO community, it's hard to say, there's a lot of things that I've enjoyed. You know, like seeing, you know, Lost Boat 5, being exposed to all their stupid emotes on Discord and Twitch and everything. But a huge highlight, I don't know if I could say it's my absolute favorite, but among my favorite things about my time with FGO is, like, you know, my regulars and stuff that I really like. But then, like, when I would post like Caligula animation update, because, you know, generally I'd make the animation update videos for the free-to-play units, right? I wouldn't not always do them for like the 5 stars, but I do it for, like, you know, the low star stuff, right? I'd always do that. And I always so enjoyed just the comments, man, like people that like it, don't like it, and like talking about people would use it to like talk about the character because they hadn't got a spotlight in a while. I always just loved the YouTube comments on like animation update videos, just so much. That was always such a fun time. Like when George, I remember when George got, dude, I remember I stayed up to like 7 a.m. because I think the George animation update dropped at like 5:30 a.m. or something like that. And then, you know, it takes a second to, you know, the way I edit videos, it takes a bit longer. And so I remember I stayed up way later just to do that. But I cared because, you know, budget units and everything. That was so awesome. I was having so much fun making that video. And I remember when, like, Boudica and Caligula got it. I was like, wow, this Caligula one's so good and this Boudica one's so bad. I remember. And you could see that reflected in the comments. The videos were posted, like, hours apart. Right, I made one then the other, just boom, boom. And all the Boudica ones were just, like, not like this. right? Or not like Nico that you all use. And then all the Caligula ones were like, this is so much better. And all the comments were like that. Just god damn it, man. And they're gone. We don't get they haven't made an animation update in years, man. Like they just, and there's so many units that still need them. And when I would make those videos, right, I'd happily do it again. When I made like St. George and all those things, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, man, someday I'm going to get to do Mozart and Shakespeare and Darius, because I love those characters, right? And Billy. I'm like, and I get to pick the music and all this. It'll be great. I can't wait for that. That day never came, and it doesn't look like it's ever going to come. I hope I'm wrong. I hope so badly I get to do like a Darius animation update and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. All right. I don't really need to heal yet. I wish we had heal boost. We're even missing command codes here, so heal boost would fit in nicely. But I don't think Beastly was. How have I done that much damage already? Jeez. Dude, if we have proper command codes, he's probably going to do this, which is pretty good for a 4-star. At least he has crit down, so you don't have to. Yeah, we are the storm and all that, but I love having crit down when soloing because you don't randomly get buster crit and die. It's so wonderful. Does he have anti-saber? I would believe it if he did. Because, man, we are throwing hands here, and this is with like suboptimal command codes and stuff. Does seem to be a bit motivated. Chat, Virgil is a meme, but he is so much fun to play in Devil May Cry 3, Devil May Cry 4, Devil May Cry 5. Like he actually, I haven't played him in Devil May Cry 5 yet, by the way. I haven't, ever since they did that DLC, I haven't gone back and played it. I only played it like when it first came out. I need to do that. But I have played him in DMC 3 and 4, right? And I imagine it's just going to be that, but more. But he's so much fun to play, dude. Like, he's OP, like, because his teleport is just stupid overpowered. But, oh my god, he is so much fun to play. She's not look, chat. Relink is an awesome game. I love it so much. And I hope we get more games like it. And I hope Fate makes a game like it. Like, it's a great formula. Some very satisfying gameplay. I can't wait to see more boss fights. I can't wait to see what they come up with, especially in like a sequel. Holy shit. But the weeb in that game, whatever her name is, Nermeria or whatever, that is not Virgil out of 5. Okay? She doesn't, like, no one in that game has a moveset as large as the movesets in DMC. And she ain't no Virgil, right? Okay? Like, if he's a Storm, she's like a Grizzle, okay? I'm just saying, these things are not comparable. Like, the most complicated character in Relink is not as complicated as the least complicated character in DMC. Now, there's a lot of skillful stuff that can still be done in Relink. Like, there's dodge timings, there's attacks that are just hard to perfect dodge, right? Like, not all skill has to do with, like, moveset size. But, yeah, I mean, that's what I kind of like about Relink, though, is the skill floor is not that high, but there's actually a decent skill ceiling in there, right? So there's a lot to work towards and improve. I love games like that, where the skill floor is low enough you can get in and have fun and kind of understand it, but then there's enough to chew on. Like, okay, there's a lot more to learn here if you want to, right? And Relink is nice that way. Oh my god, Dante combos, I know. He is definitely the most complicated character to play. And there are some things in Virgil, though, that get pretty out of hand. I know if you want to get stylish. There's some wild stuff there, 95% by the way. But Dante's nuts with all the stances and weapon switching and stuff. It's almost an infinite skill ceiling, really. It's absurd. I would actually say, if you want to get truly stylish with Dante, that is probably the highest skill ceiling you're going to see in an action game like that. It actually surpasses a lot of fighting game nonsense out there. Now, not all fighting game nonsense out there. Some of the really hardcore fighting games from the past, most recent fighting games are a lot less complicated, but man, there is some crazy complicated crap out there in fighting games. Okay, I gotta be ready to zeet the app in case we actually kill this guy. I don't think we'd kill him right now, but we're getting there. Mash summon sword for 3 hours. The annoying thing about Virgil is you can do like full, normal melee complicated combos while also mashing summoning swords, which does become a bit of a chore, I must say. If I had gotten my NP right there, although we got our evade back, so we should be safe here. Map it to R2. Yeah, I did that as well. And like even with Lady, I ended up remapping a lot of stuff because you'd be like using her wire and crap while needing to charge up the shotgun or something. So it was just awful on the face buttons. You know, I see a lot of people that hate Lady's gameplay in DMC4, but I actually really like it. I didn't like it at first, but once I remember I didn't really like it, and then I watched someone that was good at Lady, and I was like, oh, that's what you can do. And then I really liked it. It's like, because you can do so much shit. I do wish, though, the charging, you could maybe, like, toggle it. Like, you click the button again to stop charging. And it is kind of annoying to be, like, always having to hold down the charge button while doing the other stuff. But, yeah, I find that happens a lot in DMC, where you're like, oh, this character's dumb. And it's like, wait a minute. A few months ago, I tested Zerkalot versus Richard. The attempt you got with him a while ago was 5%. If he was 120 with RNG, goes way down because he can tank exactly one more hit from, but crit RNG is still there. Can you incorporate the crit down CE, or is that no go? I hate that about Berserkers, though. I'm sure if you've done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Berserkers are just so susceptible to dying way earlier than you're supposed to, right? Like, you can just rant, and because you might have a few turns, like every turn it feels like you're walking on ice. I hate it so much. It's really annoying. Yeah, we should do that with Zerkalot on JP at some point. I actually am allowed to customize the Google Doc, but I'm bad at it, and I forget. But we really do need to update that some, because that was a lot of fun, seeing like who could do it and who couldn't. Because a lot of people couldn't do it, honestly, but then how far they'd get, and like the Lancers and stuff. It's honestly really impressive, though, because okay, we win here, and even if we don't, we have defense up, so it's very unlikely we would die, so I think I can just eat out. But I got art up, he's got art down, and we do art after. I think he's dead here, so that is pretty impressive. But Lancelot is Berserker Lancelot is a really tough one because he's AoE, that's disadvantaged here. He's Berserker, that's massively disadvantaged here, and he doesn't have any survivability. He's like everything you don't want out of a unit to fight the dragon. Berserkers are generally the worst at it unless they have very good toolkits, because the dragon doing kind of lower damage, like the dragon not hitting very hard, doesn't matter anymore because they'll still kill you really quickly. And the dragon's tanky enough that you're not going to kill them first, especially as AoE. Like AoE neutral even, they don't beat the dragon very often. Like really, really good ones do, but it's hard to beat the dragon at pure neutral and as AoE. Unless you're a unit that's got like self-healing or something on an NP. Because then you just outpace his damage, no problem, and you can go forever. Yeah, Yangtze does help. But yeah, of course you'll need that. Like some single target berserkers might be able to do it without Yangtze, but because Lancelot is AoE, like he needs everything. It's not even cheating really, because I mean, he's such a bad style of unit for that stage. Man, I want Lancelot to get. I like Berserker Lancelot a lot, dude. He's so cool. Like, he's got like the best armor in the game. Like, he is so fucking cool, dude. I really want him to get a buff. It's definitely time. Like, way back in the day, he used to be really good, but man, the game has like evolved in a way that he's been power crept super hard. Because, for example, St. George was really good in the early days, and he's still good in the early days, and he's never been buffed. And it's just because the style of toolkit George has is kind of timeless. Where Lancelot is not like that. Lancelot's toolkit is not timeless. That style of toolkit has just been massively upgraded in so many respects. But, like, god damn, look at this guy. Like, that's just awesome. Yeah, he was a great farmer in the early days. Because a lot of times you'd want to, like, wipe out an AoE stage and then, like, hit a tougher enemy with a crit or something, right? That was really popular in like the first year of the game and stuff like that. But yeah, very power crept. And then he was good with Scatty when Scatty first dropped, and I guess that still does work. But I mean, most people now can work with either Castoria, Scatty, or Veach or whatever. That doesn't mean a lot. Like, oh wow, you could 3-turn loop. Oh, who can't? Yeah, actually, not not as many units need upgrades, I think, as people think. A lot of units are at least viable. There's not that many units that's like, wow, this is out of date. Right, you got Geronimo, Jekyll and Hyde, Phantom, Bin K. Those really need help. Berserker Lancelot definitely is needing some help. I think Lancer Artoria still needs some help. But a lot of them are at least viable now. There's only a chunk that's like, wow, this sucks. And Phantom of the Opera, and oh, Sanson super sucks. But like, I mean, Blackbeard, still really good. I mean, he's totally fine, right? I mean, most units are still fine. Zero Git, thank you for the 5-month sub, dude. Can you do Richard with, who? Shinapaichi? Is that one of the newer Weeb units? I don't remember any of their fucking names, to be honest. Like, all the newer, like, you know, waifu of the month over the last Berserker guy. That, you're gonna have to, do you realize how little that narrows it down? Oh, the old man Berserker. That, now, okay, there we go. That narrows it down. Now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, we can try that. If someone has them, I'm not sure anyone actually has them. Doesn't Lost have them, actually? Yeah, Lost has them, okay. Let Lost set him up here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab water, and then we'll check that out. But yeah, with all the Weeb characters they've added over the last 3 years, man, I just don't even try to keep track of the names anymore. There's just way too many of them. I'm bad with names anyway, and especially bad with Japanese. Look, I'm, you know, I have Korean side of the family, right? And I can't remember Korean names either. It don't work out. But yeah, with all the like, it's one thing if it's like an important character that's like part of the story and all that, but holy shit, all these like flavor of the month characters they kind of just make up and then throw away. I just don't remember any of them. Like that quick caster with the robot guy, that, you know, samurai guy. I don't remember her name. I think it starts with an O or something. It's like there's like an O, maybe a K and a D and an I in there or something like that. I don't fucking remember. Okay, Izayumi or something. Yeah, okay, I don't know where I'm getting the O from. I got the I right. Or Okiyumi or something. Okay, maybe I'm closer than I was thinking. Anyway, I'll be right back, chat. I need to get water. But you know, the samurai robot guy that tagged along. No one remembers that shit. I'm sure that's somebody's favorite character, though. I may not be the biggest fan of like some of the, you know, waifu of the month kind of characters that they put out. I don't like that design philosophy. But even though they're not my cup of tea, I always say, if someone else likes the character, I hope they get them. Hope they get them MP5 easily. You know, good luck on the rolls and all that. I don't get people that like, I don't like Kiyohime, so I hate people that like Kiyohime. That's stupid, man. That's childish. Like, I don't like Van Gogh, but I hope the people that like Van Gogh, you know, get the character, you know. I hope they like the animations, you know, it's not like low quality and all that stuff. All right, let's see. There's our boy. Okay, only level 90. No Guts CE, huh? That's what I would think would be good on him, but maybe I'm forgetting his toolkit. Actually, let me look it up because I need to pick Mystic Code here. Oh, wait, is that a Guts CE? Am I forgetting? Am I crazy? Let's see. I know he has a chunk of survivability. He should be fine here because he's single target. And he actually has survivability. And then because he's a berserker, he'll kill really fast. Because the thing is, a berserker that has survivability, like Hercules or something, is basically an archer here. And this fight is stupid easy as an archer, so. Okay, we've got Guts. Evade. Right, he's got the crit thing. Alrighty. Either Atlas or Anniversary Blonde. Which one? Let's see. The Guts is 6th turn. Can cast it in advance a little bit. This is tough. I mean, it's definitely Anniversary or Atlas. It's not default. Who's the worst performing archer for this? Probably Arash because of the fact that he kills himself. We had tested that. I remember we had a few archers that didn't do that well. Most of them do fine though if they're grailed and stuff. Let me think. Who would be the worst? Oh, Uriel. It's either Uriel or Arash. Uriel is fucking horrible for this because, oh yeah, Nobukatsu too. Yep, definitely that. But it's not male, you know, it's the giant dragons they don't give a gender to. So she's literally a vanilla archer. Now she's at least single target. But she is just like a vanilla archer with almost no abilities against this dragon. So she's quite bad. Where like Rice Man's got a bunch of survivability and stuff, so that's gonna probably do better. He is AoE though. So it's either going to be an AoE one, Uriel, Arash, or Nobukatsu. But it's probably Nobukatsu because he's a 1-star and he doesn't do damage and he kills himself and so on and so forth. But I don't think he really counts due to just the unique nature of him. Okay, Kid Gil would do worse than Rice Man, absolutely. So, and he is AoE, no survivability. So yeah, I would say Kid Gil, Uriel, Arash. They're going to be bottom of the barrel there. They're about the only ones that would struggle here at this point in the game. I think Arash could do it though, because of his big heal and the defense up. I think if you were like grailed, at least 100, right? 10, 10, 10, all that right command codes like heal boost. I think he could do it because you could heal boost his 3rd skill and heal boost the heal man code. Might be tough though. All right, chat. I'm embracing the Ooga Booga. Like this one is when you want to cast his Guts twice, and maybe the evade twice, and that's huge. But this is just fucking kill it. So we'll try that. You can do a Guts CE, but the fight is so long, it would take so long for you to get to the Guts part because of all the healing and defense up you're doing, that you're wasting a lot of value. I think a defense up would be better. It's hard to say. Like, the more the turns go on, the less good it is. Same for starting NP, right? The longer it goes on, the less good it is. In a solo, anyway. But killing with an NP would be cooler. You are correct. If you could do it, that's how I would do it in a video. Like if you can make it there reliably and it wouldn't be a problem, then I would definitely do it. He does do a lot of damage at 300% overcharge, so. I forgot to bring a Raj to clear these guys out. This might be a problem. I need to kill 2 of these guys now. I can rainbow chain, but I don't really see the need. Gotta do 15k, we're level 90. Oh no, 13k, okay. All right, worked out. It's better to not bring a Rosh because you, if it works, right? Obviously, if you don't bring a Rosh, it's atrocious. But if you don't have a Rosh, you're able to like make more stars here or get more NP gain here because a Rosh doesn't have card. But then there's a chance of it getting totally fucked up. I like bringing a Rosh because it's an equalizer. It means no one can get too much value off these golems, which I actually think is best. You're already getting quite a leg up from these golems anyway. I don't like manipulating that kind of stuff to try to get like stronger, right, and get like a bigger leg up. I never really like doing it that way. But that's just me. 12k HP. Guts lasts 3 turns. Well, I know I'm casting this, and I'm casting this. I kind of think it is possible we could last 3 turns. If not kind of likely. Because this turn we're not taking damage. I'm thinking I cast Guts either next turn or next NP. Let me look at it again. Oh, he's still the newest Berserker added to the game. Yeah, it's the stars on when taking an attack, which is absolutely nice. But I think I'm whiffing the Guts. I think I gotta wait. I can Star Bomb next turn anyway. I forget how much those add. I'm just guessing here. Watch Richard triple buff. He's done that before. I do like this guy. I don't like the sandals, but he's pretty awesome regardless. Okay. I think I cast it now. Do I Rainbow Chain? I should have Buster up on that NP. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I saved these for when I use this Buster up with our NP. So I guess I do Rainbow Chain. Go full NP gain. What does that command code even do? I know a lot of the command codes, but some of the newer ones I don't remember very well. Damn, I like that. Ah, didn't get my NP. That sucks. I'm gonna guess I'll get it off of our extra attack and being attacked here, though. I think I might have messed up a bit here. Oh no, why you gotta do that? That was really unlucky. Well, not looking great. If I did Atlas, I'd have invulnerability right now instead of Guts. So I would live, and then I could cooldown reduction, and this would be back. And then this would be back. And if I didn't die early there, I could potentially get this back too. So Atlas might well be the better play here. Yeah, when he has his first skill up, if he gets attacked, he makes stars. It's kind of cool. Especially because he actually has some survivability. So if you have Qin Gong and you put taunt on him, that totally can work. And then Qin Gong is awesome with this guy anyway because Qin Gong gives you the health up, buster up, crit up, and all that stuff for berserkers. We're so close. Can we kill here? You can definitely do it. I'm not sure we can do it this second. We'll see. Oh, we might. The extra attack might get it. Oh, I think we have it. Oh, baby, we have it. I'm just gonna Zeet the app, though. I don't want to risk losing the stage. Not bad, because I didn't play that perfectly. I didn't play it way off, though. I only made, like, really small mistake with, like, the buster up. But we didn't have great luck with how fast we died. So that's good, but I have found single target berserkers, if they have some kind of survivability, normally beat this. Because they're basically archers, right? And again, archers don't struggle with this stage. Now, berserkers with no survivability struggle with this massively, and then AoE berserkers struggle with this generally. Unless they've got, like, really specific stuff. But still, and for berserkers, I find it's less about if they win or not. If they have a kit like he does, right? That depends, but it's more about, like, how quick do they do it, right? And that was pretty quick. I mean, because he was only level 90. I know some of the berserkers we've tested in the past, you know, were level 100 and stuff. That being said, like, Hijikata on that list there, I'm pretty sure is out of date. A lot of stuff's out of date. We haven't updated that a lot, which kind of sucks, but it's hard to keep up with. I do enjoy my my buster crits, berserker or otherwise. I do love it with berserker though because of Qingong. Qingong to this day is one of my favorite budget units to use. He's good, he's satisfying, his gameplay fits his character. I love it when they're able to pull that off, and it's good, right? It's not like it's a matching like personality and gameplay and then it's like a meme. Like, it's really good. Like, this being targetable is so good because he can put it on himself like any other taunt unit, but then if you want to, you can put it on someone else, and that can one cycle a unit, or you can do like use the Mystic Code Evade on them and then taunt them and they get a bunch of NP back and they protect the other units, right? It's fantastic. And this skill's great. Fucking love this guy. Been very fun to use over time. Okay, chat, I will wrap up here now. If my friends are wanting to play Baldur's Gate, then there will not be a bonus stream tonight. My apologies. If my friends are not wanting to do that, then I'll probably play Relink and we're going to meme it up like crazy. And we're going to try to like make the cannons in the prototype fight do a bunch of damage. And we're going to do throw plus and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. That's either tonight or tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. We will raid Cairo. And yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Although actually maybe not tomorrow. I have to tear down a fence and dig some pits and stuff. So that's going to take some time. So maybe not tomorrow. Did I just raid the wrong Cairo? 1 minute, chat. Cancel the raid. Bail out. What did I do? / raid Cairo. What did I type? Yeah, now this is the right one. Who the fuck? Who even was that? Who has a name like that? I'm so confused now. Cairo shot? Oh my god. It's my, Chad, it's my inner thoughts coming out. Oh my god, we gotta Cairo shoot him. Alright, Chad, I will see you guys later. Take care. I'll probably say hi to Cairo here if he's still streaming.